Chapter 3721. Chen Shang had indeed grasped many important things. He now began to talk about the situation of the various great creation races here, and then focus on the matter of him annihilating the thunder creation sacred race. There was also the plot of the god creation races to swallow the most ancient era. Master, sigh. When Chu Jinfeng heard that Tao creation divine lord was dead, he was extremely excited and clenched his fists. Tao creation divine lord's death had a great deal to do with her. Previously, there were people from the god creation race who came over to talk to our clan empress. According to what you said, the beast creation race may have already allied with the god creation race. Chu Jinfeng frowned. God creation race is so despicable, to think that our clan empress would actually join hands with them. Maybe the god creation race has told your clan empress about that plan, and your clan empress plans to get involved as well. Chen Shang said with a stern expression, Alliance head, I will definitely not allow anyone to destroy Most Ancient Era. On one hand, Most Ancient Era was created by the Tao creation divine lord back then, and on the other hand, if the Most Ancient Era were to be destroyed, we would have nowhere else to go. I know, I will think of a way to deal with this matter. If the emperor insists on acting on his own, I will use my method to fight him. Chu Jinfeng had just told him that the beast creation race's actions after arriving here were extremely strange, and had already made him suspicious of everything. But hearing Chen Zhang's words, he completely understood what the beast creation race would do here in the future. Chief, do you know about the first beast creation ancestor? Chen Shang asked. Chu Jinfeng shook his head. I had asked Master before, but Master had not let go. He was never willing to talk about the first beast creation ancestor. The reason the Tao creation divine lord didn't tell him was because he was worried that he would go find the first beast creation ancestor. That place was extremely dangerous, and if Chu Jinfeng were to go now, it might even be in great danger. After that, Chen Shang told Chu Jinfeng about the first Tao creation ancestor, causing Chu Jinfeng to be pleasantly surprised, because he had always thought that the first beast creation ancestor had died. I must meet him when I have the chance. Chu Jinfeng said. All right. Chen Shang nodded his head. I will be returning to Medicine God Mountain Villa first. If there is any news, we will meet again. Chu Jinfeng warned Chen Shang, telling him not to casually enter the Sky Split Mountain range, because there were many strong beasts inside. Chen Shang flew for a few days and returned to the Medicine God Mountain Villa. However, when he arrived at the Medicine God Mountain Villa, he heard many people talking about what happened in the past 10 days. Chen Shang immediately headed towards a hall. When he arrived, he saw that the person seated at the head of the hall was not Pill God but a long and old man dressed in a white robe. The medicine god could only stand by his side with an extremely ugly expression. When the medicine god saw Chen Shang, he immediately sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang. Chen Shang, hurry up and leave this place. This guy is extremely evil, I've been tricked by him. What's going on? Chen Shang anxiously asked. At this time, the old man only glanced at him casually. Chen Shang astonishedly discovered that the old man in front of him had a very powerful qi, but he had hidden it extremely well and did not release much of it, but he was still able to detect it. This qi was the world-defying stage divine source. He had sensed it from Ah Ying's body earlier. This guy concocts pills very hard, the 10-odd famous pill gods in our Medicine God Mountain Villa have all lost to him. The medicine god replied, as long as you lose to him, you have to follow him for 10,000 years. You absolutely must not gamble with him. Who is this kid? The old man with a long beard laughed and asked, because he noticed that the eyes of the medicine god when he looked at Chen Shang, seemed to be sending a sound transmission to him. I am an alchemist, Chen Shang said as he walked over. He was using his own appearance and his real name to fight against this old man with a long beard. The main reason was that the long-bearded old man was a very strong alchemist, and he had even managed to cultivate the world-defying stage divine source. Chen Shang felt that he had to obtain something from the long-bearded old man no matter what. Oh, pretty young, what pill can you forge? Do you want to compete with me? The bearded elder looked interested, but there was also a trace of contempt in his eyes. Because he saw that Chen Shang was very young, different from the old pill gods in the Medicine God Mountain Villa. There aren't many pills that I can refine, Chen Shang said. I am friends with the medicine god, he has already told me about the matter here. I wonder how Senior intends to compete with this kid. Senior does not seem to be an evil person, I believe you can compete fairly with me. Quote. My rules are very simple. Whatever pill you concoct, I will follow you to concoct, and whatever pill I concoct, you will also have to follow me to concoct. I will concoct the medicinal ingredients and pill formula myself, but I do not need your pill formula, I only need to consume one of yours to concoct them. The old man with a long beard left his chair and walked down as he smiled. I am the one who concocts a pill. You follow me and concoct one. If anyone is unable to forge the other party's pills, they will lose. Quote. It doesn't seem fair to you. Chen Shang smiled slightly. I will refine your pills, you will provide me the pill formulas and ingredients, but do you only need the ingredients to refine my pills? Yes. However, there is one condition. First, you must refine a cauldron with me. The old man chuckled. If you can't refine it, you will lose. Alchemist had always been a proud and aloof person. Other people had already given him the pill formulas and ingredients, but he felt that he would definitely be able to make it. Also, the pills we refine will not use world-defying Dan grain. The old man added. I think the rules should be changed. Chen Shang thought about it and said. How? This was the first time the old man had heard someone ask him to change the rules. He had used this rule to win a lot of people over the years. I might not be able to concoct your pills, but you might not be able to. If we can't concoct the pills of the other party, we'll be able to tie the knot and then continue comparing the other pills, how about that? Chen Shang said. You look very confident. The old man laughed. All right, let's change things as you say. If you lose, then you will be my follower for 10,000 years and I will listen to you. If you lose, then you will also be my follower for 10,000 years. The medicine god had sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang just now in order to remind him not to agree. Who would have thought that Chen Shang would actually want to compete with this bearded old man himself? All right, it's a deal. Chen Shang nodded in agreement. Hold on, there is one more thing. The pills that we refine need to be refined within 5 hours. Therefore, most of these pills are low grade. This test of skill can be made by concocting one pill 3 times in total. The old man chuckled. Of course, if you can refine high-level pellets this fast, it is also possible. This book came from the 17K web page. The first thing I did was to look at the original content. Chapter 3722. Chen Shang was very confident in his pill techniques. This kind of competition was a test of his pill techniques, and at this moment, he had already asked He Fengyuan to pick out the medicinal ingredients from the Yuyao Mountain Villa. He wanted He Fengyuan to concoct a suitable pill formula for him to use in his pill refining skills. Senior's strength is extraordinary, you must not be a nobody, right? May I know how to address you? Chen Shang asked. Hu Jingyuan. The bearded old man had already taken out a blue jade pill furnace and laughed. I will refine a batch of mine and then you will refine a batch of yours. After that, we can exchange them to refine the pill that the other party had just concocted. All right, please enter first. Chen Shang said. Hu Jingyuan took out a blanket and sat on it as he started to refine his pills. The medicine god and the others were watching from the side. A lot of the alchemy gods had lost just now. It's the same pill as before. The medicine god said. Little brother, you have to be careful later. The pill god was one of Hu Jingyuan's followers now. They couldn't talk about the details of the pill refining anymore. They were worried that Hu Jingyuan would get angry. Aren't you going to start? Hu Jingyuan asked. He Fengyuan still hadn't prepared the pill formulas yet, so of course Chen Shang couldn't start. It's fine, you refine it first. Let me take a look. Chen Shang laughed. There were more than 10 pill gods here, as well as dozens of other alchemists. They felt that Chen Shang was being too confident. Of course, they did not know Chen Zhang's identity now. Young man, you are too conceited. This is not good. They all thought that Chen Shang would lose, and would be like him, and become Hu Jingyuan's follower. The medicine god was still very confident in Chen Shang and said, everyone might not know this, but this little brother is the pill god who created the peak of the prideful god realm pill. He has a certain level of strength. Everyone present was immediately shocked, and even Hu Jingyuan revealed a surprised expression. The proud god peak pill was precisely the peak Dan. After Chen Shang sold this pill formula to the medicine god changed his name and became very popular. It could be said to be the most sold pill in the history of the medicine god. Everyone in the alchemist knew about the power of the proud god's pill, but very few knew who created it. Now that they knew about this seemingly young brat in front of them, they were all shocked. No wonder he was so confident. Hu Jingyuan laughed. This is truly disrespectful, so it turns out that your esteemed self is a pill god with extraordinary strength, it's truly interesting. Hu Jingyuan was not worried at all. It seemed that dueling with the strong pill god was a very passionate thing to him, and he was also full of confidence in himself. Chen Shang felt that this Hu Jingyuan definitely had a huge background, it was just that no one had heard of him before, so he had to win against Hu Jingyuan and ask him how he cultivated world-defying stage divine source qi. 2 hours later, He Fengyuan had already concocted a pill formula. She had been refining pills with Chen Shang often and thus, she had a very good understanding of Chen Zhang's pill techniques. Chen Shang had also started to refine his pills, but when the crowd saw the herbs he took out, they all nearly vomited blood. Although they were all low-leveled medicinal herbs, every single one of them could be used as main medicinal herbs. They felt that in order to defeat Hu Jingyuan, Chen Shang was really putting in too much effort. The pill could only be refined 3 times. If the pill could not be refined 3 times, then it was a loss. However, it was extremely difficult to concoct a combination of 50 or so medicinal herbs. One might not be able to successfully concoct it after 3 times. You really have the leisure to create such a pill formula. I wonder just how effective it is. Refining pills wasn't something that could be done just with a large amount of herbs. What was important was the energy generated from the reaction between the ingredients. For some pills, as long as a single medicinal ingredient is refined, it would produce an intense reaction. Its energy is more than 10 times greater than that of the medicinal herb itself. Quote, there are also some pills that have a violent reaction after fusing 2 or 3 types of medicinal herbs. The energy produced by them is 100 times greater than that of the medicinal herbs themselves. Hu Jingyuan laughed. Medicinal ingredients and medicinal ingredients have their own counteractions, and can cancel each other out. Even though you have a lot of medicinal ingredients, the pills you refine might not necessarily be good. I know that. Chen Shang had already put all the ingredients in the pill furnace. He also realized that the ingredients He Fengyuan had picked out were of the water attribute and the fire attribute. Right, Senior Hu, do I have any requirements for the quality of the pills I refine? Chen Shang asked. Without the requirements, it's already quite difficult to refine it. Even though he had a relaxed expression, at the moment, he felt quite a bit of pressure in his heart, mainly because of the basket of medicinal ingredients that Chen Shang had just taken out. He Fengyuan told Chen Shang that the pills he had refined would be mainly used to heal injuries and would be able to quickly heal fire injuries. There were some strong flames that could burn a person's muscles to the point that it would be difficult to recover. This kind of injury was mostly caused by carelessness on the part of beasts that used extreme fire, or by fighting. To many people, this kind of injury was only a shadow. The process of Chen Zhang's refinement was rather easy as well. After all, the refinement of water and fire could completely refine all the medicinal ingredients in an instant. All he needed to do was perform the fusion and refine the medicinal energy. In order to be of better quality and have stronger effects, he had even gone through a derivation collision. Finally, he had used pressure to condense the pill. Because this was a low-grade pill, the refining process wasn't too difficult. Very quickly, 5 hours had passed. Hu Jingyuan and Chen Shang had finished refining the pill. This is the Jade Marks pill that I refined. Chen Shang took out a white pill from the furnace, which shocked everyone. Chen Shang really refined a pill. He then started to talk about the effects of this pill, and everyone nodded in agreement. The uses of this pill were quite high. Hu Jingyuan said, I want to verify your pill. I will have a person in the early stage of the world-defying stage divine rank come here to try out a pill like yours. Quote, Hu Jingyuan released a clone that looked exactly like him. This clone came out from his cultivation and didn't use the doppelganger mantra like Chen Shang did. This clone of his was indeed only at the early stage of the world-defying stage divine rank. He used flames to burn the clone a little more, leaving behind a fire wound that would be difficult to heal, and then let the clone take the pellet. Because the clone ate it, Hu Jingyuan was very clear about the reaction of the pill after it entered the body. After consuming the pill, the clone quickly recovered from the additional fire wounds on his body. Even Hu Jingyuan was exclaiming in his eyes, the pill was indeed more practical. Alright, here comes my pill. This is called the hard body pill. As long as it is an early stage world-defying stage divine rank or middle stage pill, after consuming my pill, my body will become very strong, and I will be able to increase my defense. Hu Jingyuan handed over a black pellet to Chen Shang. This book came from the 17K web page. The first thing I did was to look at the original content. Thailand's most popular female anchorwoman new love video exposure down the male host. Pay attention to the WeChat public number online. Mine Vixuan 1 press and hold for 3 seconds to copy. Chapter 3723. Chen Shang released a mouse man, and these mouse man-s were equivalent to his clones, but they were very weak. Not long after, Mouse Man's body suddenly became as sturdy as a rock, but her movements were not affected at all. If one took a pill like this before the battle, their body would become stronger and their injuries would be reduced during the battle. This was also a pretty good divine pill. Chen Shang gave Hu Jingyuan a total of 3 sets of ingredients needed to concoct the Jade Marks pill. Each bottle had more than 50 types of medicinal ingredients, which gave Hu Jingyuan a headache. And the hard body pills Hu Jingyuan had refined just now were only 3 types of medicinal herbs. He had given the medicinal ingredients to Chen Shang and even provided the details of the refining process to Chen Shang, so this could be considered a complete pill formula. Chen Shang did not need to provide him with the refining process, this was what Hu Jingyuan had said before. Although the challenge is quite difficult, it is only now that we can face it. Hu Jingyuan gave a casual smile before he started to sort the medicinal ingredients. He was able to quickly distinguish the attributes of more than 50 medicinal ingredients, and then, he categorized them. Meanwhile, Chen Shang had already started refining. Although Hu Jingyuan's hard body pellet was of the lower tier, there were many other pill gods who were unable to concoct it previously. This guy's alchemy skills are extremely high, I can't let my guard down. Chen Shang looked at Hu Jingyuan and realized that Hu Jingyuan had placed the fire attribute medicinal ingredients into the furnace to refine them. He had to refine them in batches. If Hu Jingyuan really managed to refine it, then the following fusion stage would be much more difficult. These medicinal ingredients are all very sturdy. No wonder your body is so tough after eating them. Chen Shang put the 3 types of fruits into the furnace and secretly used his power to suppress them, making it hard for him to transform. For Hu Jingyuan to be able to control the world-defying stage divine source's qi, the flames he released must be very strong as well. Chen Shang guessed that the refining difficulty should be at this stage. 2 hours had passed, and Chen Shang frowned, because he had used many different refining methods to try the 3 fruits, but they had not melted. Do I really have to use pressure to refine it together with the legendary dragon fire? Chen Shang only missed this method by a little. He was worried that this method would be too berserk and cause the ingredients to be damaged. Now that there was no other way and there was a time limit, he had no choice but to try it out. Through his clone, he released an even stronger pressure and legendary dragon fire, pressing it into the medicinal herbs and fiercely burning them. In just a short moment, a crack had appeared on the surface of the 3 fruits. This is bad. Chen Shang was anxious, but it was already too late. The 3 fruits had already been broken, and the energy stored inside had flowed out, fusing into the flames. Now, the only thing left of the Tianchuang furnace was blazing fire. The herbs had already turned into energy, strengthening the flames. At least this will work. Chen Shang secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Following this, he just needed to be careful, and the situation wouldn't occur anymore. Seeing Chen Zhang's failure, everyone felt that it was all within their expectations. Especially the pill god who failed here just now, they were already very familiar with this situation. Chen Shang put in the second batch of medicinal ingredients. This time, he controlled the pressure and the legendary dragon flames well, and after that he increased them bit by bit, each time with a slight tremble. This way, he could avoid damaging the medicinal ingredients in an instant. There's movement. After Chen Shang saw that the medicinal ingredients were vaporized by the burning, he immediately controlled the flames to become much weaker. After that, he observed carefully and slowly increased the fire pressure to burn them again. Just like this, Chen Shang gradually familiarized himself with the flames and pressure this type of medicinal ingredient could withstand, and then very smoothly burned the medicinal ingredient into a medicine crystal. I've finally succeeded. Although Chen Shang had only progressed to this stage, he still felt it was extremely relaxed. As long as he continued to maintain this pace, he would be able to concoct the hard body pill. It had already been 6 hours, and Hu Jingyuan also felt that it was unexpected. This was because Chen Shang was actually able to be this stable while refining the second furnace. Chen Shang secretly admired Hu Jingyuan as well. Even after 6 hours, he still had not failed a single time. The pills refined by Hu Jingyuan required over 50 medicinal ingredients, and it was his first time refining such a smooth process. Everyone was extremely shocked, and looking at Hu Jingyuan's expression, he seemed to be half done. Chen Shang was the clearest about the process of refining the jade marks pill. It was not easy, and at this moment, he gained a new understanding of Hu Jingyuan's strength. When it was about to end, Hu Jingyuan announced that he had successfully refined a pill and opened his pill furnace. He really did concoct the jade marks pill, it was just that the quality did not seem to be as high as the one Chen Shang had concocted previously. Chen Shang finished the refinement a bit later than Hu Jingyuan. He opened his pill furnace, and also refined a hard body pill. Everyone was equally puzzled and felt that it was strange. The hard body pills refined by Chen Shang were actually of a higher quality than the ones refined by Hu Jingyuan. Those pill gods were extremely impressed by Chen Zhang's control of quality. Even Hu Jingyuan himself revealed an admiring expression. He also realized that the jade marks pill that he had refined was far inferior to Chen Zhang's pill from before. If he had to request for quality, he would definitely lose this round. "We are even," Chen Shang said. Although Chen Shang said that, Hu Jingyuan secretly felt guilty, because he knew that he was slightly inferior to her in this competition. This was mainly because of the quality of the pills, but he suddenly felt that this was his greatest weakness. "Then let's continue." Just like before, Hu Jingyuan smiled slightly. "You are indeed powerful. Today, no matter what, we must decide who is stronger." Those pill god previously thought that Chen Shang did not have any chances of winning, but now they had a whole new level of respect for him. What gave Hu Jingyuan an even more headache this time was that Chen Shang actually took out over 100 medicinal herbs. Seeing those medicinal herbs, Hu Jingyuan's back was already covered in cold sweat. The jade-marked pill that required more than 50 types of medicinal ingredients was not a problem for him. However, this 100 over was hard to say, as he was not 100% confident. These medicinal ingredients were all picked out by He Fengyuan in the Yuyao mountain villa just now. The difficulty of refining them wasn't difficult for Chen Shang, but for the other alchemists, it was extremely difficult. This time is different from the last time. Among the herbs, the difficulty is infusing 10 of them. The rest of the ingredients are all supplementary and won't cause too much trouble. He Fengyuan said. She had already told Chen Shang the characteristics of the medicinal herbs. When Chen Shang started refining, he was very surprised with the pill formulas that He Fengyuan had made. She had actually been able to pick out so many medicinal ingredients. This book came from the 17K web page. The first thing I did was to look at the original content. Important notice. Please use our free novel app, no advertising, anti-piracy, faster, members synchronization bookshelf. Please pay attention to the WeChat public number Gechungshin. Press and hold for 3 seconds. Copy download free reader. Chapter 3724. 5 hours later, Chen Shang and Hu Jingyuan managed to refine a batch of pills. What Hu Jingyuan had refined was a pill shining with a red light. It seemed as if there was blood flowing inside it. This pill is the blood transformation pill. Hu Jingyuan spoke of his pill with a face full of pride. The blood transformation pill is used to cure poisons. After a person dies from poison, the poison will spread into their bloodstream. After consuming the blood transformation pill, they will be able to dissolve the entire blood poison, and not only will it not harm the blood in their body, it will also breed fresh blood. Quote, "Since it's an antidote pill, then I'll just eat it myself. There's no need for me to try using my avatar." Chen Shang took it and ate it, feeling the power of the blood transformation pill. After Chen Shang consumed the blood transformation pill, he closed his eyes. The energy of the perception pill was helpful in determining the quality of the medicinal herbs. "Where is the pill you refined?" At this moment, his heart felt extremely heavy, because he did not know whether or not he could refine Chen Zhang's pellet. He only hoped that Chen Shang would also not be able to refine the blood transformation pill, and he had already used 9 types of medicinal ingredients to refine the blood transformation pill. "This pill of mine is called Divine Eye Pill." Chen Shang laughed. "If in battle, my eyes were pierced or dug out, as long as you eat my God's Eye Pill, you can refine and grow a pair of eyes, and my eyes are even more beautiful than before. When met with strong light, will not be stinging. In addition, it can also improve your eyesight, allowing you to see further and more clearly. This pill may not have a wide range of uses, but it had a unique effect." Hu Jingyuan nodded his head. This time he was also going to use one of his clones to test his pill, only to see him release a clone whose eyes had been dug out. "My clone's eyes have been damaged for many years. Even if they were to grow back, they wouldn't be as good as they were before." Hu Jingyuan said. "This is just nice for testing your pills." Chen Shang gave the God's Eye pill to Hu Jingyuan. Hu Jingyuan let the doppelganger eat it, and very quickly, the two eye sockets of the doppelganger emitted a faint golden light as well. Not bad indeed, Hu Jingyuan exclaimed. The next step was to exchange ingredients and refine the pill from before. After Chen Shang received the ingredients for the blood transformation pill, he was secretly surprised. The ingredients for this blood transformation pill were all rather strange, he did not know if he could successfully refine it. Chen Shang already knew about the refining process from Hu Jingyuan, which was of great help to him. These medicinal herbs are actually roots. Chen Shang looked at those strange-looking roots. Although it was only a very short length, every piece of the roots were different. Chen Shang placed all these roots inside the Tianchuang furnace, and just like before, he used pressure and the legendary dragon fire to refine them. He realized that this kind of medicinal ingredient was also very difficult to refine, so he used this method from the start and didn't try any other refining methods. Before long, he encountered a problem. He had never thought that the roots could absorb the energy within the flames and grow at a faster rate. The 8 tree roots were growing very quickly, and they couldn't stop them no matter what. Once they released the flames to burn, the tree roots would grow incessantly. If the fire was stronger, it would grow faster. This is really strange. Chen Shang immediately told He Fengyuan about this situation. There must be a large amount of regeneration power contained within. I suggest that you control the regeneration power inside the medicinal plant and separate it from the medicinal plant. He Fengyuan said. She could be said to be the person who had the most understanding of medicinal herbs. Even the medicine god was inferior to her. Chen Shang immediately did as he was told. First, he went to feel the power of regeneration inside the roots of the tree, which was not easy to discover. It took him a long time to lock onto it. These medicinal materials definitely have phoenix blood. Chen Shang secretly suspected, because the phoenix had this kind of characteristic. Chen Shang will refine it after separating the power of rebirth inside. As expected, the roots did not continue growing. On the other side, Hu Jingyuan didn't have time to look at Chen Zhang's situation, because he was too busy to listen. Chen Shang was currently progressing very smoothly, since after the medicinal herbs grew, they had gained a lot of energy, but it was nothing to Chen Shang, as it could even greatly increase the quality of the medicinal herbs. Everyone knew that the pills refined by the two parties this time round would be extremely difficult. They could tell from Chen Shang and Hu Jingyuan's expressions. I have to figure out where this Hu Jingyuan came from. This kind of powerful guy definitely did not appear out of nowhere, at least those roots are not ordinary things. Although they are considered low-level medicinal herbs, these types of medicinal herbs do not grow naturally. According to Chen Zhang's description, she could understand the situation very clearly. At the same time, she also found out that there were some gray fruits that could be used to concoct the hard body pill. Not growing naturally, isn't that what Sijing and Beauty did? Chen Shang laughed. There's nothing to be surprised about. What I mean is that these medicinal plants are not made like this by nature, but are made by someone. Perhaps they are formed by some sort of method or technique. He Fengyuan said. This is more similar to Beautiful and the others' methods of fusing the medicinal herbs. Do they also know how to merge medicinal ingredients? Chen Shang asked. This isn't the fusion of medicinal herbs, but rather the creation of a medicinal herb. I just don't know how they manage to do it. I can clearly feel that this medicinal herb is not something that can be found naturally. He Fengyuan was extremely sensitive to the aura of medicinal herbs and he believed what she had said. Let's defeat him first. As long as I can defeat him, he will become my follower for the next 10,000 years. Chen Shang said. From this guy's expression, he shouldn't be someone who acts shamelessly. Chen Shang could tell that Hu Jingyuan was someone who really liked to compete in pill refining, and he had never met an opponent before, only, he had met Chen Shang this time. Hu Jingyuan's heart was extremely heavy, because he knew that it was extremely likely for him to lose. The 5 hours had ended, and Hu Jingyuan had failed once. Even though he had persevered to the very end, he had not succeeded. There isn't enough time. Hu Jingyuan sighed. He felt that if he had enough time, he would definitely be able to refine it, and the previous failure had wasted a lot of his time. I've refined it. Chen Shang smiled and took out a blood-dissolving pill from the furnace. Hu Jingyuan understood the blood transformation pill very well, so when he smelled the pill's fragrance, he was sure that it was a newly concocted blood transformation pill, and the quality was even better than what he had concocted. I've lost. Hu Jingyuan sat on the ground with a dull expression. This book came from the 17K web page. The first thing I did was to look at the original content. Important notice. Please use our free novel app, no advertising, anti-piracy, faster, members synchronization bookshelf. Please pay attention to the WeChat public number Gechungshin. Press and hold for 3 seconds. Copy download free reader. Chapter 3725. Chen Shang passed the blood transformation pill to Hu Jingyuan. The blood transformation pill you refined is of good quality. Hu Jingyuan looked at the blood transformation pill for a long time before finally speaking in a daze. The other pill gods were secretly happy in their hearts. When they lost to Hu Jingyuan previously, they were also in the same mood. You are my master now, I, Hu Jingyuan, will do as I say. After Hu Jingyuan accepted the truth, he stood up, and it was as if he suddenly became spirited again, no longer in his bald and useless state just now. Well, now you have to listen to me. Chen Shang laughed. In the future, they will no longer be your followers. Give them back their freedom. Chen Shang pointed to the pill gods. Hu Jingyuan nodded his head. He felt that the pill god would be useless as his follower. This caused the other pill gods to continuously thank Chen Shang. At this moment, Chen Shang was even more important to them in their hearts, and none of them dared to call themselves a pill god anymore. After greeting the medicine god, Chen Shang brought Hu Jingyuan to his residence in Medicine God Mountain Villa. Master, can you guide me to refine the divine eye pill? Hu Jingyuan asked when he saw that he had come to a quiet place. Of course you can. After that, Chen Shang told Hu Jingyuan about the characteristics of the medicinal herbs in the God's Eye pill one by one, as well as detailing the main points that he needed them to do. After Hu Jingyuan finished listening, he suddenly realized what was going on and immediately thanked him. Old Hu, I can vaguely feel that you have cultivated world-defying stage divine source qi. Your cultivation is considered very strong here, and yet you can still abide by your words. It is truly admirable. Chen Shang said. Even this can be discovered by you. Awesome. Hu Jingyuan was slightly shocked, and said, actually I feel that as an alchemist, you still have to have the basic character, that way you can concoct a good pill. To alchemist, being kind is extremely important. Even though I am getting ahead of myself, I can't do something that goes against my conscience. Quote. Chen Shang nodded with a smile. Since you can think like this, you can definitely ascend to greater heights in the pill Dao in the future. Hu Jingyuan chuckled. Master, your master must be very powerful. My masters are quite a few. There are some strong ones, but not many of them concoct pills. Chen Shang laughed. I am curious about your background. Your medicinal ingredients are all very strange. Hu Jingyuan said. That, I have directly created all of the medicinal herbs, using the power of humans to create them. As long as you look more carefully, you will be able to see how strange the medicinal herbs are. Old Hu, how did you manage to cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi? Chen Shang was confused. If you had taught me, then you wouldn't have to be my follower. Well, it's more difficult. Hu Jingyuan frowned. Being able to cultivate it is also due to luck. Can you tell me a little? Chen Shang asked quickly. The place I come from is very special. It is a place where everyone understands how to refine pills. There are a lot of alchemists like me there, so the powerful alchemist over there isn't too precious. What's more valuable is the creator of the alchemist. They can create all kinds of medicinal herbs. Quote. Is this a race? Chen Shang was surprised. There was actually such an existence. You can say that. I am also a member of the innate medicine clan, but I do not have talent for innate medicine. Hu Jingyuan sat down and sighed. So, on my side, an alchemist like me can only be a subordinate of an inheritor. I was just lucky enough to get the medicinal ingredients rewarded by the creator of the medicine, so I carefully refined that medicinal ingredient into a pill, then condensed the world-defying stage divine source qi. Quote. After I successfully condense the divine origin qi, I'll leave that place. That kind of medicinal herb could actually be condensed by a person. There's actually such a creation race. Chen Shang was very interested in the medicinal ingredients that Hu Jingyuan had mentioned just now. It's not that easy to get that medicinal herb. Hu Jingyuan said. After I left my hometown, I found out that the medicinal ingredients outside were so scarce, so I admired all of you for being able to cultivate to the peak of world-defying stage legendary rank in an environment like this where there are so few medicinal ingredients. In your hometown, are there many people who can cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi? Chen Shang wanted to go there and see. Not much, but it's better than yours. You guys would definitely have fewer people here who can cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi. Hu Jingyuan said. Can you take me to that place? Chen Shang laughed. This shouldn't be a big deal. After you left your hometown and experienced the outside world, it's time for you to return. Quote. However, I was brimming with confidence the moment I came out. Yet, I was defeated by you. Hu Jingyuan laughed bitterly. Chen Shang patted Hu Jingyuan's shoulder, and laughed. As long as you bring me to your hometown, I won't mention anything about you losing to me. And then you'll be free. Quote. Alright, Hu Jingyuan felt that following Chen Shang for a period of time was not bad, at least he could learn a few things. Beast creation race was currently so powerful, and had teamed up with God creation race to form a very powerful force. If they were to succeed, they would definitely engulf the entire most ancient era. The only way to stop beast creation race and the rest was to become stronger. Chen Shang told Hu Jingyuan to wait for him in the Medicine God Mountain Villa for a period of time. He wanted to go to the Sky Split Mountain Range and find Chu Jinfeng to understand the situation there, but after he went there, he did not see Chu Jinfeng. Could it be that the chief is no longer in the Skysplit Mountains? Chen Shang waited for a few more days, but there were no movements on the order badge, so he could only return to Medicine God Mountain Villa. There were many strong beasts hidden in the sky above the mountain range, and he dared not enter unless he could cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi. Returning to the Medicine God Mountain Villa, Chen Shang talked about matters regarding the beast creation race with the Medicine God and the ice creation race emperor, then left the divine power city with Hu Jingyuan. Master, that peak ascendant pill is really not bad, we don't even have such a pill in our place. Hu Jingyuan took out a small boat and flew high up in the sky with Chen Shang on it. There was a proud god peak pellet in his hand. Originally called the peak Dan. I didn't give the recipe to the medicine god. Chen Shang said. The most difficult part should be the world-defying Dan grain inside, right? Hu Jingyuan seemed to be extremely interested in this kind of pellet. No, the world-defying Dan grain inside is not some sort of profound pill pattern. Chen Shang laughed. If you want to learn, I can sell it to you. Alright, when I bring you back to my hometown, I'll buy your pill formula. Hu Jingyuan naturally wanted to learn more about the better pills. The pills that he had refined with Chen Shang previously, were all pills that Chen Shang had purposely concocted in order to win against him. There were a lot of medicinal ingredients required to refine those pills, and making them was extremely difficult, not something that could be easily sold. How far is it? Chen Shang asked. It will take me about 2 months to fly. It's not too far, Hu Jingyuan said. Hu Jingyuan's speed of flight was not any slower than Chen Zhang's 6 realms mirrors, as even this required him to fly for 2 months. It could be seen that his hometown was in a very distant place, far away from the flourishing region of the most ancient era. This book came from the 17K web page. The first thing I did was to look at the original content. Thailand's most popular female anchorwoman new love video exposure down the male host. Pay attention to the WeChat public number online. Minume 222, press and hold for 3 seconds to copy. Chapter 3726. At this time, Hu Jingyuan was also in a hurry to bring Chen Shang to his hometown. This way, he would be able to buy Chen Zhang's Peak Dan pill formulas. Old Hu, your pill refining skills are not bad. How's your battle skills? Chen Shang asked with a smile, giving Hu Jingyuan a bad premonition. Master, are you telling me to bully someone? Hu Jingyuan laughed dryly. No, I just want to be safe on the road. Chen Shang laughed. Don't worry, I am a very obedient person. I won't casually cause trouble. Even Chen Shang himself didn't believe that he was someone obedient, but Hu Jingyuan didn't know about what happened to Chen Shang, so he believed it to be true and nodded his head in relief. Although I'm not specialized in combat, I'm still quite good at it. After all, those who come out to mess around, as well as those who have to be tough enough, will inevitably meet some people who seek their own deaths. Hu Jingyuan rubbed his fist. Master, don't worry, we will definitely be very safe on our journey. That's good. Chen Shang lied on the chair and looked at the scenery below him through the window. The little boat was flying very high and steady and its speed was very fast, so Chen Shang felt that it should not be ambushed at this height. After the small boat flew for 3 days, it suddenly swayed. Chen Shang, who was originally resting with his eyes closed, was woken up by the slight movement. This small boat was protected by a very strong barrier. For it to be able to cause such a weak tremor, it meant that there was quite a bit of movement outside. Old Hu, what's going on outside? Chen Shang could only see from the window. There are some lusty guys attacking from below. Hu Jingyuan's face was also filled with anger. Let's go down and see who exactly is this blind fellow. Even though we flew so high, we didn't offend them. Chen Shang had originally wanted to let him quickly fly away, but it was already too late. Hu Jingyuan controlled the small boat to quickly descend to the ground, and then, he rushed out of the small boat. Chen Shang also followed Hu Jingyuan out, and saw 5 middle-aged men. Chen Shang recognized the clothing of 2 of the middle-aged men. They were 2 from the God Creation Race S, the peak of the world-defying stage legendary rank. You attacked our boat, Hu Jingyuan shouted in anger. Hand over the Chuangshan key. A middle-aged man from the God Creation Race snorted, hurry up or I'll kill you all. Chen Shang finally understood that his Chuangshan key was not sealed, so the God Creation Race sensed it. Old Hu, this is my business. Chen Shang walked forward and said to Hu Jingyuan in a low voice, you can just watch from the back. If I can't beat him, it won't be too late for you to make a move. Hu Jingyuan nodded, the Chuangshan key is with me. Chen Shang took out the Chuangshan key, his eyes filled with killing intent. You bastards, you must have participated in the assassination attempt on Senior Ji Yutong. Ji Yutong, so it turns out that your Chuangshan key was obtained from Ji Yutong. No wonder we couldn't find anything at your place. The middle-aged man from the God Creation Race laughed loudly. That good-for-nothing Ji Yutong, who doesn't have much ability of his own, yet wants to stubbornly defend the Chuangshan key without letting go, he is courting death. Who the hell are you? What exactly is his relationship with Ji Yutong, and why are there Chuangshan keys? Quote. Chen Shang paid attention to the other 3 middle-aged men, who were not from God Creation Race, but they were very strong, and were not weaker than the 2 elders from God Creation Race. Who am I? I am your Grandpa Shen. Chen Shang laughed coldly. You are all from the God Creation Race. Could it be that you are no longer afraid of Chuangyuan Qi? Ha ha ha, you must be Shen Fei. I never thought that you would have so many Chuangyuan Qi in your hands. Perhaps you have already gathered all 9 of them. The middle-aged man from the God Creation Race laughed loudly. The other middle-aged man continued to sneer. We are no longer afraid of the Chuangshan Qi anymore, you should surrender now, hand over all the Chuangyuan Qi and we can let you live. This caused Chen Shang to be secretly shocked in his heart. Then, he looked at the other 3 middle-aged men, and suddenly thought in his heart, that these 3 middle-aged men were definitely from the Beast Creation Race. He guessed that it was extremely possible that the people of the God Creation Race, with the help of the Beast Creation Race, would no longer fear the restraint of the Chuangshan Qi. If weakness was really like that, then God Creation Race would be even more difficult to deal with in the future. Chen Shang immediately kept the Chuangshan Qi. Don't worry, I won't give you the Chuangshan Qi even if I die. If you kill me, the Chuangshan Qi will disappear with me. Chen Shang was not afraid of the people in front of him. If he could not defeat them, there would be Hu Jingyuan behind them. Hu Jingyuan was not weak. After all, he was able to produce world-defying stage divine source qi which far exceeded the level of the people in front of him. I don't need to worry about that. As long as I capture you, I have 100 ways to torture you. I'll have you obediently hand over those Chuangyuan keys. As the middle-aged man spoke, he had already arrived in front of Chen Shang, his fist carrying the force of a spatial crack as he charged towards Chen Zhang's nose. The ground shook violently, and the wind created by his fist created a violent thunderstorm. With your little strength, you still dare to be so arrogant in front of me. Chen Shang also channeled his strength, and struck towards the incoming fist. The bone-melting magic power, accompanied by a burst of pressure, surged out from the fist and poured into the opponent's fist, instantly burning away the bone in that fist. Very quickly, it melted all the bones in the opponent's body. After that, Chen Shang jumped over and crazily stepped on it, stomped on it until it split the mountain. The middle-aged man's body was trampled to the point that not even his bones were left. Chen Shang used the power of 2 clones. As long as it wasn't the power of those legend-rank pinnacle experts who had cultivated world-defying stage divine source qi, he was not afraid in the slightest. That middle-aged man from before was a legend-rank pinnacle expert with decent strength. Don't think that I always rely on the Chuangshan Qi to deal with you. Trash like you, I can easily kill you all. When Chen Zhang's voice came out, for some reason, a red fire dragon suddenly appeared. It was not small, and wrapped around another middle-aged man whose face was filled with shock. After the red fire dragon had wrapped itself around the middle-aged man, it let out a low growl and the flame shot out explosively, turning the middle-aged man into ashes. This is, the middle-aged man from the beast creation race had already seen how powerful Chen Zhang's red fire dragon was. Their faces were not filled with fear, but with shock and greed. What Chen Shang did not expect was that when one of the middle-aged men released his aura, it was actually divine qi. He immediately rushed towards Chen Zhang's red fire dragon with a chain in his hand. "Old Hu!" Chen Shang anxiously shouted. After Hu Jingyuan saw Chen Zhang's red fire dragon, he was also surprised, because the red fire dragon's aura was too terrifying. After hearing Chen Zhang's shout, he immediately rushed over to stop the middle-aged man. This book came from the 17K web page. The first thing I did was to look at the original content. Chapter 3727. Popular recommendation. When Hu Jingyuan came out, he immediately took out his pill furnace and the middle-aged man punched it, releasing a wang sound. The middle-aged man was immediately enraged, and after he roared loudly, scales appeared on his body, his hands transforming into dragon claws. He was actually a person with a dragon blood vein. Seeing the formation, Hu Jingyuan was startled, and immediately retreated a few steps. At the same time, Chen Shang had already attacked the middle-aged men from the other two beast creation races. These two middle-aged men did not have any divine origin qi, so Chen Shang did not feel much pressure from them. He could use 6 realms mirrors two clones and the red fire dragon to easily kill these two middle-aged men. When the middle-aged beast creation race who had become a draconian saw his two companions die, he was extremely furious. They had originally thought that they could easily take down Chen Shang while cultivating divine qi, who knew that Chen Shang and the others had one too, and it was not weak either. Chen Shang used the red fire dragon to disturb the middle-aged man, coordinating with Hu Jingyuan. This made Hu Jingyuan feel much more relaxed. "What do you two against one count?" The middle-aged man shouted angrily. "Our beast creation race is extremely powerful. You used such a despicable method to defeat me, you will all die a horrible death." Boom! Hu Jingyuan's pill furnace fiercely smashed into the middle-aged man's head, causing him to bleed profusely, causing the middle-aged man to become even more furious. Bang! Chen Zhang's 6 realms mirrors also smashed over ruthlessly, striking many of the dragon scales on the middle-aged man's body off. Under Chen Shang and Hu Jingyuan's continuous attacks with their pill furnaces and 6 realms mirrors, the middle-aged man was already covered with wounds, and before long, he fell to the ground with heavy injuries. "Give this fellow to me, I want to use it to forge pills." Hu Jingyuan laughed. "All right." Chen Shang spread out his hands. "This guy is really a treasure in your eyes." Hu Jingyuan had already cultivated the divine origin qi, and the reason he used the middle-aged man's body to refine pills was also to increase his own divine origin qi. This was actually not very useful to Chen Shang. "You two bastards." The middle-aged man was furious, but he could only curse. Hu Jingyuan was not one bit afraid of the beast creation race. He laughed and threw the middle-aged man into the pill furnace, then took out the small boat and walked with Chen Shang to continue their journey. "Old Hu, I didn't expect you to be so good at fighting." Chen Shang laughed. Just now, what Hu Jingyuan faced was not a person who simply cultivated deity's origin energy, but a guy who could turn into a human dragon. If it wasn't for Master's help, I might not have been able to get away with it that easily. Hu Jingyuan seemed to be very happy at the moment. The flesh of the draconian was a good ingredient for him to refine pills. "Old Hu, do you know anything about those creation races?" Chen Shang asked. "I know a little. They are the people who created this most ancient era. Because this most ancient era was created by them, no matter how strong they cannot surpass the peak of power. They are already restricted by the world that they created." Hu Jingyuan said. "It's hard for them to surpass us, but it's even harder for us." Hearing that, Chen Zhang's eyes flashed, and said, "Old Hu, there is a place called Initial God Creation Realm, and there are many people here who have cultivated up to the world-defying stage divine source. This guy is very strong, you know." Quote, "To be able to cultivate world-defying stage divine source, that is indeed very scary. In my hometown, those who can cultivate world-defying stage divine source are very scary people." Hu Jingyuan frowned. "Maybe I'm ignorant, I do not know about the Initial God Creation Realm, but it is possible that people in my hometown know about it. I will think of a way to ask about it after I return." Chen Shang also understood the Initial God Creation Realm, and knew that there was a group of strong people hidden there. They had cultivated the world-defying stage divine source, and the God Creation Race Emperor did not have any strength to fight back against them. The last time Chen Shang encountered such a guy, he was almost killed as well. Almost 2 months had passed, and Hu Jingyuan was extremely excited while on the ship. We're almost there, Hu Jingyuan shouted. I have already left my hometown for almost 10 years, I wonder how much of a change I will experience. Your hometown must have a name, right? Chen Shang looked down from afar and did not see anything. This place is called Medicine Creation Divine Continent. Hu Jingyuan said proudly. Why can't I see anything? It's just a mountain. Chen Shang looked again carefully, but he still could not see anything. That's because there's a spirit formation up ahead. Of course I can't see it. Hu Jingyuan laughed out loud. Only the people from the Medicine Creation Divine Continent know how to pass through this barrier. If it's someone else, they would need a bit of effort. Sure enough, Hu Jingyuan's small boat soon touched a barrier. He took out a rock, and the rock released a red light that enveloped the small boat, allowing it to fly past the barrier. After passing through the barrier, Chen Shang was immediately shocked. He saw a large expanse of buildings in the distance, as far as the eye could see, with a few rivers of various sizes crisscrossing in the middle. The most shocking thing was that he saw 9 very large trees. In the area in front of them, there were quite a few towering mountains, but those huge trees were much taller than the tall mountains. There are a lot of people here, Chen Shang exclaimed. That's right, Hu Jingyuan laughed. This is much more prosperous than your cities. Chen Shang looked at those giant trees and asked, what are those giant trees? It's a giant tree. The people in the trees were all from the medicinal clan. They used their own power to keep these trees growing. Then, they released energy to nourish the Medicine Creation Divine Continent. These trees looked similar in size, but upon closer inspection, one could tell that these trees were of different heights. If one's tree is the highest, then their overall strength will be a bit stronger. Chen Shang carefully observed and still could not determine the height of the giant tree, because it was difficult for him to see the top of the tree. Alright, in Medicine Creation Divine Continent, there are no urgent matters that require us to fly. Hu Jingyuan immediately controlled the small boat to descend. The small boat landed on a river and then quickly entered the bustling area. Now, Chen Shang finally understood why Hu Jingyuan's flying-type divine equipment was a small boat. There were many small boats here, all of them were about the same size as Hu Jingyuan, and the larger ones were all for fishing. After entering the bustling area, Hu Jingyuan brought Chen Shang ashore. I've been gone for more than 10 years, so there shouldn't be too much of a change. Let's find a place to stay first, Hu Jingyuan said as he brought Chen Shang and ran towards an inn. After entering the tavern, Hu Jingyuan asked some questions. The shopkeeper's reply also assured Hu Jingyuan that nothing big had happened here. Hu Jingyuan and Chen Shang stayed in a small house in the backyard of the inn. Thailand's most popular female anchorwoman New Love Video Exposure down the male host. Pay attention to the WeChat public number online, Minume 222, press and hold for 3 seconds to copy. Chapter 3728. Chen Shang was eating the dishes and snacks gifted by the tavern. Fortunately, nothing big happened. Hu Jingyuan heaved a sigh of relief. What will happen? Your place looks very stable. After Chen Shang finished speaking, he sighed, it's different outside. You don't know that God creation race has joined forces with the beast creation race, and is going to devour the entire most ancient era. Then, they will absorb the energy of the most ancient era, and break through their bottleneck. When Hu Jingyuan heard it, he could not help but laugh. They are too naive. Even if they were able to cultivate world-defying stage divine source, it would still be difficult for them to break through after devouring a few more most ancient era. Quote. Chen Shang was shocked, and immediately asked, Old Hu, that shouldn't be possible, right? Most ancient era has a lot of energy. Quote. Hu Jingyuan shook his head. How strong were the people who created the most ancient era back then? Not very strong, they can't even cultivate world-defying stage divine source. Quote. That is not right, because in the most ancient era, there is still someone who can cultivate the world-defying stage divine source. Chen Shang said, the energy contained in the most ancient era is very strong. You are wrong, although there is a lot of energy hidden in the most ancient era, there is a lot of energy that does not exist in the most ancient era itself. Hu Jingyuan said, if there is a lot of energy in the most ancient era, then the ancestors who created the most ancient era could absorb this energy and help themselves become stronger. The reason why his less than greater than book doesn't become very strong is because they are unable to absorb energy that doesn't belong to the most ancient era. So, even if some fellows engulfed the entire most ancient era, they would not succeed. Quote. Chen Shang was very doubtful as he frowned. Most of the energy in the most ancient era does not belong to the most ancient era. What does that mean? That's right. Many of the energies in the most ancient era were created when things grew. These energies all possess a consciousness, so they do not belong to the most ancient era. Hu Jingyuan laughed. You and I are both a type of energy. Do you think you belong to the ancestors who created the most ancient era? Even if they engulf most ancient era, they can only destroy the entire most ancient era. The energy in our bodies is not controlled by them. Quote. Even if they have very strong power and can devour the energy in our bodies, we can control all of it. If we can control it to dissipate, they will not be able to get it. After Chen Shang finished listening, he nodded slightly, but he was still very worried. Those fellows' plans will still disrupt the most ancient era. Chen Shang had already experienced the destruction of too many worlds before, so he did not want to experience it again. Most ancient era was a painstaking effort on his part, and Ji Yutong and Luo Juyong had sacrificed themselves to protect the most ancient era. Don't worry, our medicine creation divine continent won't let them succeed. Hu Jingyuan was not worried at all. Now that you've brought me here, according to our previous agreement, we aren't in a master-servant relationship anymore. Since he was able to come to this place, he believed that he would definitely be able to find a way to cultivate the world-defying stage divine source. Little Shen, name a price and sell me the Peak Dan's pill formula. Hu Jingyuan kept thinking about this matter. I do not lack the Tao Creation's divine crystals right now, Chen Shang said. After he sold it to the medicine god last time, he had quite a few Tao Creation divine crystals. Then what do you want? This kind of pill formula is extremely valuable, why don't you tell me about it? See if I can fulfill your request. Hu Jingyuan also knew that Chen Shang did not lack Tao Creation's divine crystals. I want to learn some good supreme mantra or legendary mantra, do you have them? Chen Shang asked. I do have a supreme mantra, but it's not too good. Hu Jingyuan revealed a difficult expression, he shook his head. Legendary mantra are also very precious, I have only grasped one myself, and am unable to pass it down to you in a short period of time. I have legendary mantra too, but it's too hard to learn. Chen Shang sighed. Especially studying the second and third techniques, I simply do not know how to master them. So that's how it is. Hu Jingyuan laughed. In our place, there is a type of pill called spirit communication pill. The use of this pill is extremely wonderful, it can allow people to quickly grasp legendary mantras. There's actually such a pill. Chen Shang was very surprised. How do I buy it? I can buy 2 for you. They are quite expensive and quite rare. But I can get it. Hu Jingyuan said. The sooner the better. Xiao Shanglin had 2 legendary god Dans that she found hard to control right now. If she could get a hold of these 2 pellets, she would be able to learn them, and when the time came, she could refine another Paternoster Soul Stone which would allow him to master the pellets quickly. Hu Jingyuan told Chen Shang to stay here and wait for him to return. He said that he would go and inquire about some things. Chen Shang also did not run around randomly. In the future, he would have time to stroll around here. Looks like there are all kinds of weird pills in medicine creation divine continent. Chen Shang rejoiced in his heart. To me, this is the sacred ground of the alchemist. If that's really the case, then my clone won't be learning the legendary mantra. It's too difficult to learn. Xiao Shanglin said, sometimes I feel like I'm about to master it, but later on, I feel like I still need to continue to learn. The most ancient era had existed for much longer than the myriad Tao, so there were even more pills and herbs here. Perhaps there were people who were troubled by the difficulty of learning the legend rank curse, which is why the legend rank pill appeared. Chen Shang laughed. Even a heavenly incantation like Xiao Shanglin had difficulty controlling a large number of legendary mantra, let alone others. At night, Hu Jingyuan returned. Old Hu, what news are you looking for? Chen Shang asked. I want to know where my master is. Hu Jingyuan said. My master was able to refine a legend rank pill. He is not in this area, he is at the purple fire tree's area, in the area where the huge tree glistened with a purple light. There were 9 regions in the medicine creation divine continent, and each tree was responsible for containing one region. We're at the blue fire god tree. We'll need to walk for 2 days to get there. Let's go now, Hu Jingyuan said. Hu Jingyuan actually had a very strong master, no wonder he was able to cultivate deity's origin energy. My master has many disciples, but I am only one of them. My performance is not bad, so he treats me pretty well. Hu Jingyuan had already left the inn and arrived at a small river, then boarded the boat and headed towards the purple fire tree. Old Hu, is your master from the innate medicine clan? Chen Shang asked. Yes, he can create his own medicine and forge pills. He can both create medicine and refine pills, so he's quite famous. When Hu Jingyuan talked about his master, his face was full of respect. Chapter 3729. It would take 2 days to get to the purple fire tree S. Chen Shang could see the purple fire tree S in the distance, but he did not expect it to take that long. The novel at the apex of the horizon. It was because the water path here was winding, from a small river to a large river, and then from a large river to a small river. Sometimes, he would even encounter crowded situations. Can't we go ashore and walk? Chen Shang looked at the small boats everywhere and felt helpless. If he flew over directly, it would probably only be half a day. It's the same when you're ashore. If you encounter a crowded area, you'll be walking very slowly. Hu Jingyuan was extremely familiar with this place, and laughed bitterly. There are a lot of people here in Medicine Creation Divine Continent, that's why it's so crowded, but we cannot fly casually here, only patrolling people can fly here. The crowded river had been cleared and the boat could once again move smoothly. This water seems to contain a lot of energy. Chen Shang fished around with his hands. Of course, the Medicine Creation Divine Continent's water source is connected to 9 huge divine trees. Hu Jingyuan said, a lot of the energy released by the divine tree permeated into the water. The Medicine Creation Divine Continent seemed to be a peaceful area, but it was too crowded. When he and Hu Jingyuan had entered earlier, he had seen from the sky that this place was filled with densely packed houses. You should be patient, we're already here. Hu Jingyuan laughed, he controlled the small boat very leisurely. Chen Shang just wanted to quickly eat those legendary spirit communication pills, so that he could learn more about those legendary mantra. He was extremely impatient, he had always been very curious about those 2 legendary mantra. Xiao Shanglin had learned for such a long time, yet he still did not master those legendary mantras, which made him even more anxious. More than 2 days had passed. Hu Jingyuan controlled the small boat and sailed to the bottom of the purple fire tree. From underneath the incomparably huge purple fire tree, Chen Shang was simply unable to see its top. When he raised his head to look, he saw that it was blocked by the densely packed and crisscrossing gigantic leaves. Your master is really amazing, being able to live within the divine tree. Chen Shang said. That's right. Hu Jingyuan looked forward to it, and said to the giant tree, only when I receive an invitation can I live on it. I don't have the qualifications to live on it anymore anyway. Chen Shang curled his lips and said, then, can we go in? After Hu Jingyuan brought Chen Shang ashore, he smiled and said, it's hard to say, but of course we can't enter. I can only wait patiently beside the big tree. Chen Shang looked at Hu Jingyuan with disdain. He had thought that Hu Jingyuan would bring him in. You're much worse than I thought. Chen Shang said. I can be considered very powerful. Although I can't enter the purple fire tree, I can freely enter and exit my master's medicine shop outside. Seeing that Chen Shang was looking down on him, Hu Jingyuan immediately shouted out, let's go, I'll bring you to my master's shop. He will come here every so often, we'll go there to wait for him. Chen Shang could only follow Hu Jingyuan to the shop. He felt that if he wanted to obtain the legendary pills, it would take a long time. He had thought that Hu Jingyuan would bring him to the legendary pills immediately. Hu Jingyuan led Chen Shang through the streets and alleys, and finally reached a 10-story tall tower. This tower was relatively large, and its location was not bad either. Manager, when will my master come? The moment Hu Jingyuan walked in, the shopkeeper ran out excitedly and greeted Hu Jingyuan immediately. Hu Jingyuan looked at Chen Shang as if to say, did you see that? All of the shopkeepers here are bowing to me. Chen Shang only smiled slightly. He'll probably be here in 2 or 3 days, because there's a guest waiting for him. The shopkeeper bent his waist slightly. Seeing him being so respectful to Hu Jingyuan, he knew that Hu Jingyuan had some status. What important guest, to actually be able to get master to come personally. Hu Jingyuan was actually very curious. It's from the golden fire tree. The shopkeeper said softly. Because of some reasons, he cannot enter the purple fire tree, so he can only wait here. Take me to see this esteemed guest. Hu Jingyuan laughed. Just state my identity directly. All right. Then, he brought Chen Shang and Hu Jingyuan upstairs. In the end, he arrived at the 7th floor. Chen Shang and Hu Jingyuan were in the same hall, and met the esteemed guest. It was a tall and skinny old man with an extremely good temperament, who had a friendly smile on his face as he received Hu Jingyuan with a smile. Behind this tall and skinny old man, there was a young man with a pale face who looked extremely weak. He forced out a smile and greeted Chen Shang. I never thought that it would actually be the Golden Fire Tree's old man, Yu Weizhou. Hu Jingyuan said respectfully, when you first killed that group of wasps, it was to prevent the Golden Fire Tree from suffering a calamity. Even though I was still young, I already have a lot of respect for senior. It's all the past. Yu Weizhou laughed awkwardly. Your master also helped me back then. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the confidence to help you all. Chen Shang didn't understand much about these things and could only listen on the side. He could see that this Yu Weizhou should be someone important, but from the tone of his voice just now, he should be in a rather dire situation. Master Yu, this is. Hu Jingyuan looked at the weak youth and asked. This is my grandson, Yu Lirong. Because of sparring with others, he was heavily injured, and his illness was severe, he was unable to recover even after many years. I have looked for many alchemists, but none of them have any good methods. Yu Weizhou said. Why didn't you come find my master earlier? Hu Jingyuan laughed. My master will definitely have a way. I went to look for your master at the first possible moment. Back then, if it wasn't for your master, this grandson of mine would have died long ago. He refined a type of pill, and can finally stabilize his injuries. Yu Weizhou said. Now it seemed that Yu Lirong had suffered from his old injuries again, or perhaps because of some reason, his injuries had worsened. Chen Shang also felt that it was strange. Someone like Yu Weizhou, with such powerful strength, actually had an injury that he could not cure. Even Hu Jingyuan's extremely strong master had not completely healed him. Then how can I recover? This kind of injury is too weird. Hu Jingyuan had already walked to Yu Lirong's side, and was carefully observing him. Suddenly, a handsome youth with a face full of arrogance walked in. He arched his eyebrows and said with a sneer, Hu Jingyuan, don't make a fool of yourself here, don't embarrass master. G_cover Cup Starlet Idol Premier AV Champions League Online Watch. Pay attention to the WeChat public number, Mainblue 123, press and hold for 3 seconds to copy. Chapter 3730. Less than div class equals TA dread, greater than less than script greater than. Seeing this youth, Hu Jingyuan was immediately angered, and said coldly, Meng Tianao, don't think that just because you obtained the qualifications to enter the purple fire tree that you are able to look down on others. In terms of strength, I am stronger than you. Meng Tianao and Hu Jingyuan were senior and junior brothers, but Meng Tianao looked so young, and Hu Jingyuan looked so old. Meng Tianao laughed, so what? You are just lucky enough to have cultivated the divine origin qi. But in terms of alchemy, you are far inferior to me. Chen Shang snickered in his heart. The fact that his junior and junior brothers were bickering here had already caused their sect to lose face. I say, sigh. Yu Weizhou sighed helplessly, he was already annoyed enough. Senior, I've let you down. Hu Jingyuan anxiously said. I was only concerned about your grandson's condition, that's why I asked. Who knew that this guy would be so arrogant, and even dare to speak so rudely to me? Yu Weizhou nodded his head. Thank you for your concern, let's wait for your master. When Meng Tianao saw Chen Shang, his eyes were filled with disdain. Who is this guy? You have the right to sit here. Hu Jingyuan, is this the guy you brought back from outside Medicine Creation Divine Continent? Don't you know that the majority of the people outside the Medicine Creation Divine Continent are weak? They actually brought him to Master's shop. Quote. He's my friend, so what? Don't you often bring your friends here? Hu Jingyuan was instantly enraged. HMPH. My friends are all well-known people. How can they be like the trash you brought back in the chairs he made? I even find them dirty. Meng Tianao's eyes were full of hostility and ridicule, staring at Chen Shang. Only when trash looks at things do I feel like trash. Chen Shang indifferently said without waiting for Hu Jingyuan to scold him. Oh, you actually said that again. If you really came from outside Medicine Creation Divine Continent, then I am not wrong, the people outside are all trash. If you don't believe me, ask old senior Yu Weizhou. Meng Tianao sneered. That may not be the case. The world is big, and there are many strange things about it. The Medicine Creation Divine Continent is so vast, and not only are there strong warriors in there. Yu Weizhou chuckled and then said to Chen Shang, outside, it should still be the era of those 8 creation races. It's been a long time since I've been out. No, Thunder Creation Sacred Race is finished. Chen Shang laughed, and that was what he had done. Moreover, there is an additional Beast Creation Race. Yu Weizhou was shocked, his brows knitted. Beast Creation Race is actually here, this is truly incredible, Beast Creation Race is truly powerful. The strong people inside actually knew of the existence of the Beast Creation Race. At this time, Meng Tianao said to Chen Shang, "This shop belongs to my master, you should leave. You are from outside Medicine Creation Divine Continent, we don't trust you." Quote. Chen Shang stood up and said with a cold face, "I am currently speaking with Elder Yu, why are you interrupting? Did you know that just based on your words and actions, you're already very annoying? With such a highly respected expert like Elder Yu here, even if we have any deep grudges, we shouldn't have any conflicts here. You don't even understand the basic principles of how we conduct ourselves." Quote. Yu Weizhou nodded slightly. He did not have a good impression of Meng Tianao, even though he had seen him twice before. Meng Tianao's expression was ugly to the extreme, which made him even more furious. He said coldly, "You actually dare to speak to me in such a way? Then you should scram even more. If I say you are trash, then you are trash. If you still don't admit it, all the fellows outside Medicine Creation Divine Continent are trash, quickly scram. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." Quote. Hu Jingyuan said angrily, "Meng Tianao, Chen Shang is someone who can defeat me in pill refining, don't look down on me. Chen Zhang's pill refining skills are definitely not inferior to yours. You, who are in charge of observing the world, should go and have a look at the outside world." Quote. Meng Tianao laughed loudly, "You actually lost to such a fellow, and you still have the nerve to say it. You truly are a shameless person, the alchemist inside the Medicine Creation Divine Continent, actually lost to trash outside." Quote. "Fine, you've always thought I was trash, but do you dare to spar with me?" Chen Shang said in a cold voice. Towards this kind of person who spoke in such a manner, he definitely had to teach him a lesson. "Why would I not dare to compete? Say, if I lose to you, I'll kowtow to you." Meng Tianao sneered, "If you lose, why don't you kowtow to me too? Kowtow means nothing to me. How about we bet the Tao Creation's holy crystals? 50 million Tao Creation holy crystals, do you dare to bet?" Chen Shang said. "Anyways, Senior Yu is bored here, how about we let him witness?" The first thing he said was 50 million Tao Creation holy crystals, even Yu Weizhou was shocked. Meng Tianao was even more shocked, how could he have 50 million Tao Creation holy crystals? Although he could refine pellets, he would need many divine medicines and a lot of time to refine one pellet. Although he could sell a lot of Tao Creation holy crystals, he could not concoct even 50 million. Chen Shang obtained the Tao Creation divine crystals from selling the pill formulas, which were accumulated by the medicine god for many years. Therefore, this amount of Tao Creation divine crystals was very high even in the Medicine Creation Divine Continent. "Don't scare me, you don't even have that many," Meng Tianao shouted in anger. Chen Shang took out a storage bag and coldly laughed, "If you don't believe me, you can look for yourself. There really are 50 million Tao Creation's holy crystals inside." Yu Weizhou scanned the place with his consciousness, and exclaimed. Meng Tianao was speechless. Someone who could take out 50 million Tao Creation holy crystals so casually was definitely not some ordinary guy. At least, he wouldn't be able to take it out. "Haha, Meng Tianao, you don't even have that many Tao Creation holy crystals, you don't dare to gamble." Hu Jingyuan laughed. "That's right, I do not have that many Tao Creation divine crystals. However, this does not prove that my level is weaker than him. I can at most take out 10 million Tao Creation divine crystals, that is all I have left." Meng Tianao said as he grinded his teeth. He believed that for people like Chen Shang who came from outside the Medicine Creation Divine Continent, their pill refining level was not as good as his. He had beaten Hu Jingyuan before, so he could always mock Hu Jingyuan, even though it was a long time ago that Hu Jingyuan had lost to him. But this made him feel that he was stronger than Hu Jingyuan. Hu Jingyuan was actually very strong, otherwise he would not be able to cultivate the divine origin qi. This made Meng Tianao jealous. Although he could enter the purple fire tree, he wished that he could cultivate the deity's origin qi. "I'll bet 10 million, I'll decide the rules," Chen Shang said. "Alright, you decide on the rules. If this rule is unfair, I believe that even Master Yu will be able to see through it." Meng Tianao knew that Yu Weizhou was a very righteous person, so he was not worried that Chen Shang would act shamelessly. However, I must first take a look at your Tao Creation's sacred crystals. Chen Shang said with a look of despise. Meng Tianao was furious in his heart, as he clenched his teeth and took out a storage bag, but there were only 9 million Tao Creation divine crystals inside. I was wrong, it was only 9 million. It doesn't matter. Chen Shang felt that as long as Yu Yang lost, he would be bankrupt. Less than div class equals TA dread, greater than less than script greater than. Important notice. Please use our free novel app, no advertising, anti-theft, faster, members synchronized bookshelf. Please pay attention to Weixin public number APPXSYD, press and hold down 3 seconds to copy download free reader. Chapter 3731. Yu Weizhou still had 2 more days to wait, it was boring anyway, and seeing these juniors fighting, he felt that it was very interesting, and his grandson, Yu Lerong, was also very interested. Then quickly tell me how to compete. Meng Tianao could not wait any longer. You and I should know by now. The reason why Elder Yu came here is to cure his grandson Yu Lerong's strange injury. Chen Shang said. That's right, only my master has the ability to suppress this kind of injury. Meng Tianao said. Then let's see who can heal Yu Lerong's injuries and restore him to his peak. Chen Shang said. Whoever can do it, wins. Meng Tianao laughed. Are you joking? Even my master could only barely suppress his injuries, and you said that the content of our competition is a complete recovery. This is impossible, you better stop messing around. If you don't have any standards, don't mess around with others. You can only win against people like Hu Jingyuan. Quote. Your failure to cure is your problem. If I can cure it, then even if I win, if I can't, it means I lose, and you can get 10 million Tao Creation holy crystals. Chen Shang continued. What do you think? Since you want to give my Tao Creation's divine crystals for free, then I can't do anything about it. If you really can treat it, then you won't only be earning my Tao Creation's divine crystals. Meng Tianao laughed sarcastically. Of course, you must be crazy to be able to think of the contents of such a competition. Yu Weizhou and Yu Lerong, the grandfather and grandson, were both stunned. They did not expect that the content of Chen Zhang's competition was actually related to them. Alright, I'll start now. Chen Shang came over to Yu Lerong's side. This, little brother, my grandson's injuries are not easy to treat, they can only be suppressed. Yu Weizhou shook his head and sighed. The main reason for his injury was because his own strength was insufficient to suppress it. I had secretly observed earlier that there would occasionally be some strange strength aura on his body. This aura is from an external force, not his own. Chen Shang said. That's right. Yu Weizhou's eyes lit up. He did not expect Chen Shang to be able to discover it even in such a state. Brother Yu should be a peak of world-defying magic realm. Chen Shang said. If he wasn't troubled by that strange injury, he would have long since stepped into the legendary realm and reached the peak of the world. It was all due to this strange injury that he was delayed for so many years. Yu Weizhou let out a long sigh. Even now, it would be difficult for him to break through. I have a pill here called the legendary God Dan. As long as you eat it, you can enter the world-defying stage legendary rank. Chen Shang took out a legendary God Dan and continued. This will take me about 2,000 to 3,000 years to refine. As long as I refine it, I can make a breakthrough. Bullshit. Which pill could allow one to step into world-defying stage legendary rank with just one pill? They all need to eat at least 10 or 20 pills. Meng Tianao taunted. Master Yu, don't let this guy's pills scam you. Hu Jingyuan, however, believed that it was true, because Chen Shang had the peak Dan. Yu Weizhou received Chen Zhang's pellet and looked at it. There is nothing wrong with this pellet. It contains a very powerful energy within, and most importantly, this world-defying Dan grain. It's very strange, the true power of this pill should be released by this world-defying Dan grain. I think it's worth a try. Quote. Yu Weizhou had already taken out a time array. Li Rong, refine this well. This is a 10,000-year-old time array, refine it and it will be fine. As Yu Weizhou spoke, he placed the 10 Tao Creation's divine beads into the array disc, and let Yu Lerong bring the array disc into the room. A time array opened by the Tao Creation's divine bead, and one that was 10,000 years old at that. In other words, it was a super time array that had existed for 10,000 years in the outside world. Is old man Yu the one who created the medicine? Chen Shang asked. It can only be considered half. My main focus will be on the battle, and I will specifically deal with some of the venomous insect poisonous beasts that invade the divine tree. Yu Weizhou said. This medicine creation divine continent is truly a very prosperous and strange world. Chen Shang laughed. You haven't. Meng Tianao was very unhappy, because he could see that Yu Weizhou was very courteous to him. I've seen too many worlds. What Chen Shang said was the truth. Although Yu Weizhou might be stronger than him, his experience was not as abundant as his. He had experienced many profound worlds, experienced many different things, and many different worlds. Hu Jingyuan stood at the side without saying a word. He was only walking around, and he was really looking forward to the moment Yu Lorong came out. If Chen Zhang's legendary God Dan could really help him break through, then that would be too shocking. I had once thought of letting Li Rong eat more pills to get to world-defying stage legendary rank, but after eating so many, it was still hard to reach. Yu Weizhou sighed. But others can easily break through. The pills you ate should be at intervals, right? In Brother Yu's case, you need to break through the bottleneck in one go. Chen Shang also understood some of those pellets, which was what Hu Jingyuan had said before. So after taking one pellet, and after eating another at intervals, depending on the circumstances of different people, once they had consumed enough pellets, they could step into the world-defying stage legendary rank. Although he had guaranteed that he would be able to break through the legendary realm, in Chen Zhang's eyes, he was still far behind. It's already been 4 hours, and it's already been 3 to 4,000 years since the last time the time array was here. Meng Tianao waited at the side, his heart burning with anxiety. If he really succeeded, he would lose miserably. You are an outsider. If you were to cheat, just as Meng Tianao said that, the door opened. Yu Lorong, who had walked out, looked completely different from the sickly him from before. Chen Shang knew that he had recovered with just a glance, and this was completely within Chen Zhang's expectations. The reason why he took so long was probably because Yu Lorong was already suffering from strange injuries, hence the speed at which he was refining it was much slower. Yu Weizhou also did not dare believe it, and excitedly walked over and carefully checked Yu Lorong's situation. Grandfather, I have already stepped into the world-defying stage legendary rank. I have used my own strength to heal all the strange injuries in my body. Yu Lorong's voice was straightforward, and he laughed. Thank you, Brother Shen, for saving us. Yu Lorong walked over and bowed to Chen Shang. You're welcome. I'm glad my pills are useful to you. Chen Shang laughed. Little brother, I really don't know how to thank you. Yu Weizhou had already bowed and thanked Chen Shang with tears streaming down his face. Because for so many years, he had been running all over the place for his grandson, causing him to feel extremely depressed. There's no need to be so grateful. In any case, this is just a small matter for me. Chen Shang immediately held Yu Weizhou up. Hu Jingyuan was pleasantly surprised. If Chen Zhang's legendary God Dan was exposed, it would definitely shine here. Meng Tianao looked at Yu Weizhou, whose face was filled with gratitude and tears. His expression was unsightly to the extreme, and an indescribable rage surged up in his heart. He was feeling jealous, envious, and at the same time, felt dejected and indignant because of the 9 million Dao creation he had lost. This book is the first issue from the 17K website, the first time to see the original content. Chapter 3732. Less than div class equals TA dread, greater than less than script greater than. At this time, Meng Tianao had no choice but to give the Dao Creation Divine Crystal to Chen Shang. He took out the Dao Creation's Divine Crystal with a heartache, cursing Chen Shang in his heart. Less than previous chapter, next chapter greater than. Chen Shang was very happy to get his hands on the Dao Creation's holy crystals, his face was full of smiles, which made Meng Tianao even more angry. Yu Weizhou had to thank Chen Shang no matter what. He thought for a bit, then took out 2 stones and gave it to Chen Shang. This is just a small token of my appreciation, Yu Weizhou said, and handed the stone over to Chen Shang. Hu Jingyuan saw that the 2 gray stones were shrouded by a layer of faint white light and shouted in shock, these are explosive divine stones. That's right, this is the most precious thing I have on me. If it wasn't for little brother's divine pill, I don't know when I would be able to recover my strength. Yu Weizhou shone the 2 stones into Chen Zhang's hands. Brother Shen, after being refined into a divine weapon, if you are hit by a fierce attack, a very strong power will explode and shock the opponent. It will be very helpful in battle. It was all thanks to Chen Shang that he was able to recover. Naturally, he was also extremely grateful to Chen Shang. Chen Shang accepted the 2 explosive divine stones and also expressed his gratitude to Yu Weizhou. Master Yu, do you have any spirit communication pills? Chen Shang needs this kind of pill now, although grandfather knows how to refine it, he might not have it on hand. Hu Jingyuan asked quickly. Of course. Yu Weizhou immediately took out a pill and gave it to Chen Shang. I only have one here. Thank you, but this pill must be very precious, I will use the Tao Creation's divine crystals to buy it. Chen Shang said. Just keep it, don't be polite with me. Yu Weizhou laughed. Chen Shang could only accept it. He didn't know when Meng Tianao left either, but no matter what, neither Chen Shang nor Hu Jingyuan noticed him. Master Yu, then do you still want to wait for my master? Hu Jingyuan laughed. Yu Weizhou definitely had many matters to attend to. After all these years, Yu Lorong had held him up for too long. I'm not waiting anymore. He must be very busy too. I'm going to bring him back. Say hello to him for me. Yu Weizhou said, then bid farewell to Chen Shang, and left with him. After Hu Jingyuan saw that Yu Weizhou had left, he smiled. Chen Shang, in the future, go to the Golden Fire Tree S. If there is anything you need, go find him. My Dan can help others, and I'm content. Chen Shang laughed. Chen Shang, your pill formula is too amazing. Hu Jingyuan was extremely respectful. Of course he wanted to learn and refine the legendary God Dan, but he knew that was impossible. On the other hand, the Peak Dan's pill formula was possible. Old Hu, then how many holy crystals of the Tao creation would the spirit communication pellet be worth? You brought me here just like this, are you sure your master will give it to me? Chen Shang was extremely curious, he felt that the spirit communication pill was definitely very precious. It's quite expensive, it's worth tens of millions of Tao creation holy crystals. Hu Jingyuan said, if you are willing to use the medicinal formula to exchange with my master, he will definitely give you 2 pellets. The price of the Peak Dan's pill formulas were also about the same. Even if he sold them in the medicine creation divine continent, it would not affect the people in there. You guys have so many creation gods, can't they create pills that can allow people to quickly enter the world-defying stage legendary rank? Chen Shang suddenly felt that those drug creators did not seem to be that powerful. You are a powerful alchemist, you should know very well that even if I gave you a huge pile of medicinal herbs, you still wouldn't be able to make a good combination. Su Yun said in a low voice. Hu Jingyuan said, the pharmacists here are only able to create single, very strong medicinal herbs. If you want to concoct a pill formula, the alchemist will have to do it himself. Quote. Chen Shang had a deep understanding of pill formulas. If not for He Fengyuan's perception of medicinal ingredients, he would not know how to obtain a pill formula. I still lack a legendary elixir. Chen Shang said, if I were to directly exchange that pill formula with your master, wouldn't that be a huge loss? Don't worry, my master will give you other compensation. Hu Jingyuan laughed. My master is a very good person, you must not have a bad impression of him because of him. How about this, I want 2 spirit channeling pills. It's not a bad thing to have one of these. Chen Shang thought about it and said. Hu Jingyuan sat down, curled his lips and said, that bastard Meng Tianao ran off just like that, I still want to scold him a few times. He must hate me. Chen Shang laughed. He asked for it. Hu Jingyuan thought about how Meng Tianao suffered, and couldn't help but laugh out loud. Actually my pill refining skills are not inferior to this guy at all. The last time he defeated me was all because of the methods he used. What achievements do you think a fellow with such a weak character like him would have? That's true. Chen Shang nodded. With his personality, it was difficult for him to achieve anything. Hu Jingyuan was a good person. Chen Shang was waiting here for that powerful master of his, Hu Jingyuan's, for him. It would take another 2 days for him to arrive. After waiting for a long time, suddenly a blue-robed old man appeared. He looked very friendly, but when he saw Hu Jingyuan and Chen Shang, he smiled. Xiao Hu, you have such a strong friend, why didn't you introduce him to me? You should have taken him to my place. What was he waiting for? The blue-robed elder laughed. Uncle, how did you know about Chen Shang? Hu Jingyuan chuckled. Aren't I worried that I will disturb you? His name was Ke Yunxing, and he was a founding alchemist and a alchemist. Although he was Hu Jingyuan's senior master, his reputation was far inferior to Hu Jingyuan's master. What are you talking about? Come and sit at my place. Ke Yunxing laughed. Hu Jingyuan didn't want to go, but there was no other way. He was forcefully pulled away by Ke Yunxing, who was also dragged over. I just met Yu Weizhou on the road. He was the one who told me about it, said. At this time, he had already brought Chen Shang into another tall tower, which was also a medicine store. Chen Shang and Hu Jingyuan were invited to a very luxurious living room. Little brother, your legendary god Dan is really amazing. I wonder where you got your pill formulas from. Kei Youngxing asked with a smile, as he poured some tea for Chen Shang. An expert gave it to me. Chen Shang casually said. Generally speaking, when someone asked for a pill formula, they would mostly want it. Chen Zhang's actions were also hinting to Kei Youngxing that he would not give out the legendary god Dan's pill formula. Less than div class equals TA dread, greater than less than script greater than. Chapter 3733. When Chen Shang brought the tea to his mouth, he smelled that something was wrong and his expression changed. He immediately looked at Hu Jingyuan and saw that he had finished drinking the cup of tea. Kei Youngxing came over to Hu Jingyuan's side and smiled. Xiao Hu, how's my tea? Martial uncle, your tea is naturally very good. Your tea is much more famous than your medicinal herbs. Hu Jingyuan laughed. Chen Shang frowned and immediately sent a sound transmission to Hu Jingyuan. Old Hu, your senior master's tea is strange, don't drink the second cup. When Hu Jingyuan, who was originally laughing, heard the sound transmission from Chen Shang, his face suddenly changed. He immediately channeled his divine origin chi to resist the warm current that was entering his body. Impressive, to be able to discover it so quickly, Kei Youngxing said, as he fiercely pressed his palm on Hu Jingyuan's chest, releasing a burst of force, causing Hu Jingyuan's blood to spurt out all over the place. Chen Shang suddenly jumped up from the chair. This Kei Youngxing actually attacked Hu Jingyuan. Kei Youngxing was Hu Jingyuan's senior master, but to be able to hate his hands so much, Chen Shang immediately thought that this Kei Youngxing wanted his legendary god Dan to be single-handedly inverted. After Hu Jingyuan was poisoned by the tea, he was then ruthlessly smacked. At this moment, he no longer had the strength to retaliate. You can't run away, this is my territory, Kei Youngxing leisurely said with a smile. When Hu Jingyuan cultivated the divine origin chi, Kei Youngxing was still a little afraid, but now that he was seriously injured by Horror's poison, he didn't have to worry about anything at all. If he wanted to deal with Chen Shang himself, it would be as easy as flipping his palm. The divine origin chi that was being released from Kei Youngxing's body was much stronger than Hu Jingyuan's. Although he had not cultivated the world-defying stage divine source, he was not someone that Chen Shang could take care of. Hu Jingyuan slumped onto the chair, with a face full of anger. Kei Youngxing, I didn't think you were this kind of guy. Chen Shang saved you long before. If something happens, Yu Weizhou will definitely find you to settle the score. Quote. As long as this doesn't get out. Suddenly, a voice came out. It was Meng Tianao. Chen Shang and Hu Jingyuan immediately understood that the reason why Kei Youngxing knew about the legendary god Dan was not because he met Yu Wei. When the time comes, you can scold that foolish master of mine and have Yu Weizhou settle the score with him. Meng Tianao laughed sinisterly. He walked to Hu Jingyuan's side and fiercely slapped his face. Chen Shang clenched his fists and said coldly, you two bastards. Kei Youngxing laughed loudly. You have already fallen into my hands, don't you understand? If you cooperate with me honestly, I might spare your life and put you in jail. Quote. Kei Youngxing was also beside Hu Jingyuan. He released a burst of black flames and poured it into Hu Jingyuan's abdomen. Hu Jingyuan immediately screamed at the top of his lungs. The black flames inside his body was extremely painful. Quickly hand over your Tao Creation's divine crystal, the legendary god Dan's medicinal formula, the explosive shock divine stone and the legend rank spirit pill. Kei Youngxing laughed sinisterly. Otherwise, I will make that guy even more miserable. The wealth in Chen Zhang's hands indeed made people envious. It was enough for a strong warrior like Kei Youngxing to take action. Hu Jingyuan was in extreme pain, but his face was filled with guilt, because he knew that it was all his fault. Chen Shang, don't worry about me. The pained Hu Jingyuan roared out, his body fiercely ignited. He was destroying himself, just so that he would not drag Chen Shang down. Facing an expert like Kei Youngxing who was threatened by her, Chen Shang could not resist at all. On one hand, he couldn't win against her, and on the other hand, he would make Hu Jingyuan suffer even more. So he had already planned to make the trade, but he never thought that in order to not implicate, Hu Jingyuan would actually destroy himself. I'll fight you guys to the death. Chen Zhang's body instantly expanded, his two clones releasing two red fire dragon S, and then merged with his original body's red fire dragon S. The red fire dragon had been fused by Ahu before, so Ahu had special fusion legendary mantra that fused them together in an instant. This red fire dragon was not very big, but from the moment it came out, it carried a burst of divine origin energy. With a roar, it rushed towards Meng Tianao and instantly pierced through his chest. There was a large hole in Meng Tianao's chest that was emitting fire. The red fire dragon's legendary dragon fire spread inside his body, causing him to scream crazily in pain. The furious Chen Zhang's eyes burned with red flames. The red fire dragon returned to his side and hid in his arm, making it look extremely ferocious and scary. It was covered in red scales and it produced sharp tiger teeth, tiger claws and eagle claws, burning with intense flames. Kei Yunxing had also seen the terrifying red fire dragon just now. Although he was shocked in his heart, he was even more overjoyed because he felt that he would definitely be able to tame this dragon. Kei Yunxing immediately rushed forward, holding on to the two array discs. He wanted to seal Chen Shang. But what he did not expect was that Chen Shang actually flew over. The speed was as fast as teleportation. When he arrived in front of the arm that merged with the red fire dragon, rushed out, smashing into an array disc. The thick ferocious scarlet dragon fire armor even pierced through Kei Yunxing's body. Boom! Chen Zhang's arm shook, and a wave of energy exploded outwards. The surrounding space was instantly torn apart. The violent spatial turbulence twisted the surrounding space, and everything was sucked in. Chen Zhang's arm was also in extreme pain. His body had definitely been severely injured by his fist, and due to the space collapsing, everything around him was torn into pieces and sucked in. The scene was in complete chaos. Die! Chen Shang punched at Kei Yunxing through the air. He had even used pressure on him. The force of the punch became even more berserk, causing the entire floor of the tower to almost explode, and the floors above were all ignited in flames. Kei Yunxing's body was smashed into two pieces by Chen Zhang's fist. His abdomen was missing, and only his legs and upper body were left. Chen Shang looked at Hu Jingyuan's side. There was only a pool of flame there. Let's go, or I'll be sucked away as well. Chen Shang never thought that his punch would be so powerful. It actually caused the space to collapse. Chen Shang passed through a wall and jumped down from the tower. After he landed on the ground, more than half of the pagoda had already been devoured by space, and the collapsed space was gradually recovering. Old Hu! Chen Shang looked at the tower in grief and fury. I have already avenged you. He had already returned the red fire dragon to its original state. With the three red fire dragon combined, he could not control the power for long. At this moment, he could no longer feel that his arm was crippled. Just as Chen Shang was about to leave, he saw a figure that was the size of a thumb running over. Chen Shang, wait for me. The little girl was actually Hu Jingyuan. However, she looked very young, so this should be the primordial spirit that he had condensed deep inside the ocean. Such a huge commotion was stirred up, and it was right beside the purple fire tree, which had already alarmed a lot of people. Chen Shang grabbed Hu Jingyuan's tiny primordial spirit and left the scene with a swoosh. Chapter 3734. Popular recommendation. Hu Jingyuan was led far away from the purple fire tree by Chen Shang, and at this moment, this entire region was discussing about this matter. Because the death of an expert meant that the expert was Kei Yunxing. Kei Yunxing normally looked like a good person and he had quite a bit of fame. To be killed just like that, this was a huge matter. Meng Tianao was also mentioned. After all, he was someone who could enter the purple fire tree and was killed by someone. Chen Shang and Hu Jingyuan were hiding in a small tavern. Old Hu, it's really good that you didn't die. Chen Shang laughed. When he saw Hu Jingyuan's little soul, he was extremely happy. My current appearance is even worse than death. Hu Jingyuan sighed. Don't worry, you'll definitely recover to your peak. Chen Shang consoled. Let's not talk about this anymore. Your strength is really scary, especially that dragon. It's really scary. When he thought about it, Hu Jingyuan still had lingering fear. After he had become a tiny primordial spirit apostle, he had almost been affected. Fortunately, Chen Zhang's control over his energy was extremely accurate, allowing that energy to run all over the place. Hu Jingyuan also escaped with great difficulty. Even though he said that it was worse than death, when he thought back to what happened just now, he was still trembling in fear. Your master must be very concerned about this. Chen Shang sighed. How do I tell him about this now? Can he understand? Quote. It's best not to look for him. There are rules in this region. If you were to cause such a huge commotion here, you will definitely be investigated by the people from the purple fire tree. Hu Jingyuan said. Although my master is a good person, he is still a little stubborn. When the time comes, he will definitely hand you over to the purple fire tree and they will punish you. Chen Shang had even intended to look for Hu Jingyuan's master. Then what should we do now? Chen Zhang's plan to get the spirit communication pill had all gone down the drain. Go to the golden fire tree and look for old man Yu. He is more reasonable, and told him to tell my master about this matter. Hu Jingyuan said. On the other hand, Meng Tianao's matter is not easy to handle. Isn't this guy dead? What is there to be afraid of? Chen Shang said. Meng Tianao's parents and grandfather are both very strong and have very high statuses within the purple fire tree. They will definitely investigate this matter, and at that time, they will definitely find out something. Hu Jingyuan said. If they found out about you, then you're in danger. What's there to be afraid of? As long as I'm not caught, it's fine. Chen Shang was not afraid, he had already rushed to the golden fire tree. He gave the legendary pill he got previously to Xiao Shonglin so she could learn about legendary mantra. Although he didn't know what legendary mantra it was definitely more useful. This legendary spirit communication pill is indeed a little useful, but it still requires a lot of time, mainly because I have mastered too many legendary mantra. Xiao Shonglin said. I estimate that after a month, I will be able to grasp a legendary mantra. Hearing Xiao Shonglin's words, Chen Shang secretly admired Hu Jingyuan's master, who could actually create such a pill. Chen Shang bought a small boat and went along the river towards the golden fire tree. Golden fire tree were still quite far from the purple fire tree and would need at least 10 days to reach. Hu Jingyuan was also cultivating inside Chen Zhang's 6 realms mirrors. Chen Shang had already helped him reconstruct a new body, but the body was extremely weak. After Chen Shang arrived at the golden fire tree area, he went ashore and walked towards the golden fire tree. Old Hu, how do I meet Senior Yu? Chen Shang asked. He is usually in a place with high golden fire tree. It will definitely not be easy for you to meet him, furthermore, I am temporarily unable to reveal myself. Previously, this fellow did not give you a token or anything like that. Hu Jingyuan said. It's fine, since we're not in a hurry right now. Maybe your master won't be so stubborn after things calm down for a while. Chen Shang laughed. At this time, he was extremely interested in the area of golden fire tree. There were many different types of metals here, all for refining purposes. He let Xiao Shonglin choose a few of them. Xiao Shonglin also planned to refine the explosive shock divine stone into the heavenly magic sword in the 6 realms mirrors. After walking around the streets and alleys for a few days, Chen Shang suddenly heard a piece of news. The reason the golden fire tree were recruiting was because they were going to kill all kinds of poisonous insect and poisonous beast. In the medicine creation divine continent, the biggest threat to the 9 huge divine trees was the poison insect poisonous beast. Some of the poison insect poisonous beast were very strong, so it was very difficult to become a gold firefighter. If you become a gold firefighter, then you can enter the golden fire tree and maybe even meet old man Yu. With his help, you should be able to cultivate world-defying stage divine source chi. Hu Jingyuan said. Let me try and see if I can become a gold firefighter. Chen Shang said. Xiao Shonglin also bought a lot of metal materials, and returned to the Yuyao mountain villa to fiddle around. Previously, she was just a clone shopping with Chen Shang, while her original body was learning legendary mantra and was almost done. Chen Shang arrived outside a large house and lined up with many people. These people were all at the late stage or peak of world-defying stage legendary rank, wanting to participate in the examination to become gold firefighter. It's very difficult to become a gold firefighter. I wonder if he'll be able to pass the exam. If he can't, then the exam fees will be wasted again. It shouldn't be too difficult. Yu Weizhou's son just entered the world-defying stage legendary rank, and can already become a gold firefighter. He has a great-grandpa. Do you have one? That's right, this Yu Lorong's strange illness has finally healed. His strength is definitely not that great, and it's all because of his grandfather that he's able to become the gold firefighter. Those people who were with Yu Lorong back then were all now at the peak of world-defying stage legendary rank, and some had even cultivated out divine origin energy. Only he, who had just stepped into the legendary realm, was shameless to have his grandfather turn him into a gold firefighter. Quote. Hearing these words, Chen Shang laughed in his heart. Yu Lorong had a strong foundation. After Yu Lorong broke through, the aura was extremely strong. Yu Weizhou would definitely not favor his grandson. He guessed that Yulurong was hiding an extremely mysterious and terrifying power that could allow him to wield around the power of the late stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. Chen Shang saw that there were a few people who were able to pass the examination, so he felt that he would definitely be able to pass as well. After lining up until night, it was finally Chen Zhang's turn. Chen Shang, right, this is a poisonous spider. As long as your fire can burn it to ashes, you can pass this stage. An old man let out a half-dead poisonous spider. It was as big as a bathtub, and its body was covered with shining purple fur. It was very frightening. Chapter 3735. Chen Shang did not feel any fear towards this poison. He had seen many poisons that were even scarier than this spider, not to mention that the poisonous spider in front of him was dead. This poisonous spider was rather strong, and although the flames Chen Shang released could slowly burn the poisonous spider to death, their speed was extremely slow. They must have a lot of them. Chen Shang thought in his heart. There were quite a number of these venomous insect poisonous beasts that were specially used for the examination. In order to quickly pass the examination, Chen Shang released an even stronger flame with a frown. When the old man in charge of the assessment saw this, he was secretly surprised, because Chen Zhang's flames were considered stronger. Although they had met her before, those people looked older and younger than the Chen Shang in front of them. Stop, pass the first round. An elder anxiously shouted. Chen Shang, you can go for the second round. Chen Shang thought that he would burn the big purple spider to ashes after passing the trial like this. If such a large spider were to be burned, it would take a lot of time. Moreover, it would also be a waste of a spider, so they had to give it to the next person for the test. They only needed to see that the examinee had the strength to burn the purple pearl. Under the lead of a single person, Chen Shang arrived at a very large hall. There were about 10 people here who were the same as him, all who had passed the first round of examination. The content of the second round of the examination looked very simple. It was to use the divine weapon provided by the Golden Fire Divine Palace to hack at the bodies of the poisonous insect poisonous beast. If it was really hacked, it would be passed. The purpose of these tests was to see if they could cause any harm to the poisonous beast. If one did not have the strength, there would be no point in joining the battle. Chen Shang watched from behind as an old man hacked at a black beetle that was the size of a giant bull. He hacked at it dozens of times but still failed to hack open the beetle's shell. This large beetle was already dead, but its shell was extremely sturdy. Watching it, Chen Shang was secretly fearful. He had also burned that big spider before and its defense was extremely strong. At this time, he had a certain understanding of the poisonous insect poisonous beast here. Lu Yang, you failed the test. An old man announced. Within the scope of 100 blades, do not split the shell of the black beetle. The old man called Lu Yang had a regretful expression as he left. Soon after, it was the turn of the others. The next was a middle-aged man. He only used 10 blades to cut a hole through and successfully passed the examination to become a gold firefighter. There were a lot of people who could not pass the examination, and more than half of them could not. Chen Shang now understood. They were not people who could pass the assessment with their high cultivation, although some had high cultivation, but they had not reached a high level in their use of their own strength, and were unable to unleash their full strength. However, there were some people who used their powers extremely well. Even if their cultivation was not high, they could still split apart the black beetle's hard shell. It was Chen Zhang's turn. Chen Shang did not use the power of the red fire dragon, nor did he use the legendary gas. Dang, dang, dang. The knife in his hand landed on the black beetle's shell, causing a series of crisp sounds to ring out. He did not manage to split the black beetle's shell even after dozens of consecutive slashes. This is really strange. Chen Shang looked at the blade in his hand in a daze. Stop trying. You're only at this level. Hurry up and go. Don't waste everyone's time. Even if you were to hack at it hundreds of times, the result would still be the same. Hurry up and go, we're waiting for the test. Seeing that Chen Zhang's dozens of cuts were unsuccessful, many people started shouting. Chen Shang still had a few dozen slashes left, but this group of people were so anxious. Forget it, let's just use the legendary gas. Chen Shang had no choice but to use legendary gas S. The legendary gas rushed into his arm and fused with his flesh power. He raised his long blade and roared loudly. The slash from the blade actually created a terrifying explosion. The shock wave forced everyone in the room to retreat. Crash. Asterisk. Under Chen Zhang's blade, the profound beetle was split into two. Everyone was stunned. This made them extremely shocked. Previously, Chen Shang couldn't even touch a single bit of the profound beetle, but now, he displayed such a great power. Chen Shang, pass the examination. Become a gold firefighter. An old man's heart skipped a beat because there weren't many people who could cut a black beetle in half. At least, he had never met one during the assessment. After Chen Shang was taken away by a single person. Previously, he only used his physical body's power, he wanted to test if his physical body's power could split apart. Later on, he used his legendary gas. One of the middle-aged men in charge of the assessment laughed, this guy is really powerful. Those people who were mocking Chen Shang just now, had their faces turned red, because Chen Zhang's strength was far stronger than them, and it was not the first time they had tried to hack at the shell of a black beetle. Chen Shang had already become a gold firefighter and was brought into the golden fire tree to wait for the arrangements. The golden fire tree was like a super tall building with countless of floors. Chen Shang didn't know which floor he was taken to. He only knew that this floor was very high and that his room was extremely comfortable. There was a very big window that allowed him to see the side of the medicine creation divine continent from above. Chen Shang was told to only stay here, and had to wait for arrangements before doing anything else. After Chen Shang had waited for 2 days, an old man came in and said, Chen Shang, your strength is not bad. So you were assigned a pretty good team. Quote. Thank you. Chen Shang smiled. This is your armor and blade. If they are damaged, you need to replace them in time. As long as you follow the team and wait for the quest, we'll properly arrange it for you when you have time to rest. The old man gave Chen Shang a storage bag, inside it were many things. Chen Shang took out the set of black armor and wore it, he thought it was gold, but Xiao Shonglin said that its defense was not bad, and then he used a blade, which was refined using a lot of high-level materials, and was considered stronger but not as good as his heavenly magic sword. Your armor can let you fly, you can only fly while on mission, and you can't fly when you're resting, if you're caught, you'll be imprisoned for 1,000 years. After the old man saw that Chen Shang had donned his battle armor, he told Chen Shang a few things that he needed to remember. Chen Shang followed the old man out of the room and arrived at a higher place. Furthermore, they were walking on a huge tree branch. Chen Shang felt that this tree branch could accommodate dozens of gigantic squares. This place is your team's territory. They usually stay here and wait. The old man said, go and greet them yourself. This battle has just been set up not too long ago, and most of them are young people, so their overall strength is very strong. Quote. Chapter 3736. The old man had only sent Chen Shang here, he would need Chen Shang to become a part of the team. After Chen Shang walked over, he saw 4 people there. One was a tall and beautiful woman, the other 2 were young and handsome youths, and the last one was a middle-aged man. Shen, brother Shen, one of the youths was astonished. Hello, brother Yu. Chen Shang was also surprised, he did not expect to meet Yu Lorong in this team. I am Chen Shang, and have just passed the examination to become a gold firefighter. Please advise me. Chen Shang introduced himself. Yu Lorong had a very high position here, even though he was acquainted with him, the other 3 people still gave him face, and all introduced themselves. Chen Shang observed carefully, and other than the middle-aged man, the other young man and the tall beautiful woman all ignored Chen Shang, showing their arrogance. The middle-aged man was the captain, and his name was Zhang Jun. He had a square face with thick eyebrows and big eyes. The other youth was called Tian Dongyu. Although he had a long and skinny face, he was also very handsome. He only spoke a few words with Chen Shang before walking to the side. The only female in the team was called Lu Xinyan, and she was also indifferent to Chen Shang, as if she was dissatisfied with Chen Shang being her team member. On the other hand, Yu Lorong welcomed Chen Shang very much. After all, he had been saved by Chen Shang. Just now, Chen Shang had already sent a sound transmission to him, telling him not to leak the information that he was an alchemist. The reason why Chen Shang had become gold firefighter was also to think of a way to see Yu Weizhou. Right now, he had already met Yu Lorong, which meant that he would be able to see Yu Weizhou very soon. As long as you don't drag me down. Poison insect poisonous beast are not easy to deal with. Even though you can pass the examination, it does not mean that you have sufficient strength. Seeing Chen Shang and Yu Lorong chatting so much, Tian Dongyu walked over and said coldly. Tian Dongyu and Lu Xinyan both felt that Chen Shang had joined the team because of Yu Lorong. Chen Shang could guess that the 2 of them were from an extraordinary background, which was why they were able to become gold firefighter at such a young age. He had previously heard that if there were people of status within the Golden Fire Tree, their girls would also become Gold Firefighter, on one hand to gain experience and on the other to gain merits. Tian Dongyu, Brother Shen is very strong. Yu Lorong did not know what happened over at the Purple Fire Tree's side. He had never seen Chen Shang fight before, but he knew that Chen Zhang's pill techniques were superb. In his eyes, those with great pill techniques were definitely not weak. Yu Lorong, you are in the early stages of world-defying stage legendary rank, your strength can be considered not bad, but this is all because of your grandfather. Lu Xinyan coldly snorted. Don't worry, I won't drag you guys down. Chen Shang pressed his hand on Yu Lorong's shoulder, because at this moment, Yu Lorong was a little angry. With me here, what are you afraid of? Zhang Jun's tone was also a little arrogant, because Tian Dongyu and Lu Xinyan were not very friendly with Chen Shang. As the captain, he had a headache about this sort of thing. Zhang Jun was an old Gold Firefighter, that was why he was the one leading the team. Lu Xinyan and Tian Dongyu also only looked at Chen Shang with contempt before leaving and returning to their own rooms. These young people, seriously. Zhang Jun shook his head. You guys go ahead and do what you need to do, I'll go check if there are any tasks. Alright, Yu Lorong brought Chen Shang to his room. Brother Shen, you are the pill god. What are you doing here, Gold Firefighter? This is extremely dangerous, Yu Lorong asked anxiously after closing the door. I came to find your grandpa. I ran into some trouble and need his help. Chen Shang said with a serious face. Brother Yu, don't you know what happened at the Purple Fire Tree's side? What happened? Yu Lorong shook his head. Ever since I became a Gold Firefighter, I have no knowledge whatsoever of the outside world. Then I'll tell you. Chen Shang was extremely shocked when he heard Chen Zhang's simple explanation. Shen, Brother Shen, you actually killed such a character. Yu Lorong's face was full of disbelief. He was very clear about what kind of level Ke Yongxing was at. But now he was dead. There's no other way. Chen Shang released Hu Jingyuan. Old Hu. Yu Lorong immediately believed Old Hu when he saw his weak aura. Li Rong, I need your grandfather to clarify this matter for us. Go and find my master. Now, my master must definitely think that Chen Shang and I killed Ke Yongxing and Meng Tianao for no reason at all. Hu Jingyuan said. Okay, when grandpa comes back, I will immediately tell him. Yu Lorong said. Right now, he has something important to take care of. I don't know what's going on with these few days, but many of the higher-ups of the Golden Fire Tree have very important things to do, and I don't know what they are up to. Quote. As long as I can see your grandfather. Chen Shang laughed. I am fine with it, but Old Hu is still very respectful towards master, he needs to let his master know about this. Yu Lorong nodded. Oh right, Brother Shen, don't take the matter between Lu Xinyan and Tian Dongyu to heart. Yu Lorong laughed. When they witness your strength, their prejudice towards you will disappear. Hee, I'm not going to lower myself to the same level as them. Chen Shang laughed. That's true, you are a pill god that even my grandfather admires. Yu Lorong said. Suddenly, a shout came from outside. That was Zhang Jun's voice. There's a situation, prepare to head out, Zhang Jun shouted. Chen Shang and Yu Lorong immediately came out of the room, they were much faster than Lu Xinyan and Tian Dongyu. These Gold Firefighter were all wearing black armor, Chen Shang suspected that they were all made from the armor of black beetles. Captain, what's the situation? Is this guy really good? Yu Lorong asked. Even though he had a very powerful grandfather, due to many years of strange injuries, they were able to sharpen his mental state. Quite impressive, there are a total of 10 teams going. Let's hurry up and see what the situation is. After Zhang Jun finished speaking, he flew up into the sky. If you drag us down, you might as well stay here. Otherwise, you won't blame us when we die. After Lu Xinyan finished speaking, she too flew over. I told you to stay here. Seeing that Chen Shang was about to set off, Tian Dongyu shouted coldly to him and followed after. Ignore them. Yu Lorong knew of Chen Zhang's strength, if he could even kill Chen Shang, they would definitely not be able to escape. Chen Shang and Yu Lorong were the last to leave, and Zhang Jun had already flown very high, they followed the Golden Fire Tree's huge tree trunk and continuously flew up. The higher they went, the fewer people there were. Chapter 3737. The higher the level, the more poisonous insect and poisonous beast there are. There are a lot of leaves at the top of the divine tree, and they are all very large as well. These leaves don't have much use for us humans, but they are extremely helpful for beasts. Yu Lorong said. He knew that Chen Shang was from outside and did not know about the things in the medicine creation divine continent. Where did the poisonous insect and poisonous beast come from? Chen Shang was very curious about this. I don't know. This question has puzzled us for many years, and we can only guess now. Some people think that it was bred by the divine tree, some people think that it was formed by remnant souls, and some people think that it was formed after a human left. Quote. After flying very high, Chen Shang saw that there were more than 10 teams gathered on top of a very large leaf. When Chen Shang saw Zhang Jun, he realized that Zhang Jun's expression was somewhat ugly. Captain, what's wrong? Yu Lorong also noticed it and asked quickly. It's nothing. It's just that our team will only have the 3 of us in the future. Zhang Jun snorted, and glanced at Lu Xinyan and Tian Dongyu who were at the other side. They've already joined another team. Zhang Jun said in a low voice. How can this be? Yu Lorong was a little angry. The elders have agreed, the elders of these 2 fellows are very familiar with the elder. Zhang Jun was a little unhappy, because Lu Xinyan and Tian Dongyu obviously disliked them and wanted them to join another team. Team leaders. This time, it's a very special guy. It's a flying giant eagle, and its strength is very strong, so you should be careful when fighting. Right now, we are hiding in the vicinity, so we need to split up. The elder said. What's special about it? Zhang Jun asked. Very, very strong. Stronger than any of you who encountered it before, although there is no poison. The elder added, earlier, some of our elders were injured because of this, so you must be very very careful. If you can't beat them, then immediately retreat. Captain Zhang, you guys should forget about it. You only have 3 of you, and you even have a new gold firefighter. Without any experience, I would even drag you down. Lu Xinyan and Tian Dongyu had joined this middle-aged man's team. Chen Shang also realized that there were more than 10 warriors in some of the teams. It was mainly because the party leader was very strong that people joined them. But Zhang Jun was clearly a new party leader, so he had fewer members. He could only recruit new members from the ranks of the warriors. Don't look down on this new guy, this guy and Yu Lorong are good brothers. So that's how it is. Yu Lorong was powerful, but his cultivation was still low. If he was at the peak of world-defying stage legendary rank, then he would be extremely powerful, just that. Oh. It's best if this team goes back to sleep. The elders won't blame them. The elder nodded his head and said, Zhang Jun, you guys don't have to force it either. It's fine, we'll just take a stroll. We won't fight, we'll just have to see how special that giant eagle is. Zhang Jun said, I have a new member, I need more experience. If we succeed in taking him down, we will be heavily injured. The elder announced loudly, to encourage everyone, this time, the person we are facing is special and strong, so the reward is very generous. Every member of the team will receive a drop of the sap from the divine tree. The crowd immediately became restless. The sap of the divine tree. This was the first time Chen Shang had heard of this, so it was obvious that it was not ordinary. Something that can help people cultivate and remove world-defying stage divine source qi. Yu Lorong said softly, however, this requires a lot of effort. Different people require a different amount of spirit stones, although this is only a single drop, it is still considered a treasure to many people. Chen Shang originally only wanted to look at the hawk, but now he had no choice but to fight. He wanted to obtain this drop of the divine tree's sap. Let's go. A team leader shouted in excitement as he flew up into the air and disappeared with his teammates. The other teams also hastily flew out. They were all worried that they would get beaten by the other teams. Let's go as well, Chen Shang said. He had already released 3 transparent illusions and flew out to look for the winner. Wait a minute, are we really just going to take a look? Yu Lorong asked in a low voice. Of course not, Zhang Jun laughed. Your big brother Zhang Jun is not a coward. I am very strong, just that group of people look down on me. Furthermore, I feel that Chen Shang is not weak either, at least he is extremely calm when things go wrong. Quote, I have killed many powerful fellows. It can be said that I have been through hundreds of battles. Chen Shang laughed. Yu Lorong felt that he was the weakest in this team. Half a day later, Chen Zhang's illusion body suddenly felt a weak qi, and his illusion body flew very high. I found something, up there. Chen Shang pointed in a direction. Let's go take a look. Initially, he did not know how to find Zhang Jun, but after hearing what Chen Shang said, he immediately flew up. Chen Zhang's illusion had already seen the hawk, causing him to be extremely surprised. It was not that this giant hawk had anything special about it, but it was a type of beast that he was extremely familiar with. The giant hawk's claws were all pale gold Tao Creation Divine Crystals, especially the claws, which were condensed from the Tao Creation Divine Crystals. The hawk's beak was also formed from the Tao Creation Divine Crystals, and apart from that, the feathers on its body were also all thin and sharp Tao Creation Divine Crystals. What made Chen Shang even more surprised was that although the golden fire tree's leaves had been cut by the eagle's sharp wings, they did not get cut off. These leaves were extremely stiff. At this time, they were still a long distance away from the giant hawk, and the giant eagle's movements also gave off a huge aura. The giant hawk had already used legendary gas. I can feel it, Zhang Jun said. He was curious, how did Chen Shang notice them? Someone's already in front, Chen Shang said. It's that team Tian Dongyu has. If we get beaten by other teams first, then we can't get involved. This is the rule. Zhang Jun was somewhat regretful. It's fine, they might not be able to beat him. Chen Shang laughed. When Chen Shang and the others reached the top, they saw that there were a few other teams at the side watching. Tian Dongyu and his team of about 10 were fighting against the giant eagle, while the elder was beside them. The battle was extremely intense, because the golden fire tree was high up in the air, it did not touch the ground. Although the leaves of the golden fire tree were struck, they were not affected. This hawk is obviously the kind that beast creation race made. He can actually come to this place. Chen Shang did not expect beast creation race's hand to already be here. Hopefully, there will not be many beasts as strong as this one, if not the medicine creation divine continent will not be able to handle it. Chen Shang watched as Tian Dongyu fought against the giant hawk, so he had a better understanding of the giant hawk's strength. It's really amazing. Tian Dongyu's team of more than 10 were all injured, and the eagle didn't seem to have suffered any injuries. Yu Larong said in shock. Chapter 3738. Chen Shang could immediately tell that there was something strange about that giant hawk. It was that during battle, it was able to use the power of the Tao Creation's divine crystals. The body of the giant eagle is like the Tao Creation's divine crystal, and these divine crystals are all of the best quality. During a fierce battle, if you release these powers, you will be able to gain a lot of power. Chen Shang said in a low voice, if we encounter such a situation, it would be best if we fight against multiple teams, or else it would be hard to capture them. Chen Shang was also thinking about how to deal with this powerful giant hawk. He felt that he could use the 6 realms mirrors, but it would expose a lot of things to others. The matter regarding his red fire dragon could not be easily exposed. Last time when Kei Yongxing saw his red fire dragon, he really wanted to snatch it away. Captain, the 3 of us might not be able to handle this eagle. Yu Larong felt that it was a pity. He initially thought that the giant hawk was not that strong. I'm fine, Zhang Jun laughed. We can broaden our horizons by watching from the side. In just a short moment, someone had been injured in that team. Not only that, but the strength of that 10-player team was declining. Soon, the entire team would be injured. This fellow's defense is extremely terrifying. Zhang Jun exclaimed. It's indeed difficult to take down a single team, but looking at the other teams, they do not have any intentions of joining hands. Yu Larong laughed. Of course, the other teams all have their own pride. If anyone interferes, they will feel like they are being underestimated. If this goes on, no team will be able to take down the eagle. Chen Shang was quickly thinking of a way to defeat the giant hawk. Let's retreat, a captain shouted. Since another soldier was injured, more than half of the soldiers were already injured. He had no choice but to retreat. After he retreated, the other team immediately went on stage. Chen Shang asked softly, why is it that only this team can go up if all the other teams want to go up? Is it possible that they made an appointment? According to my experience, it's a custom, Zhang Jun said. First of all, the battle team that discovers the giant eagle naturally has the qualifications to fight. If this team couldn't beat it, then the next step would be to go to the other teams. The other teams will be ranked according to their qualifications. The first team to be created will be the first one to reach the top. Quote. So even if we can go up, we'll be the last team. Yu Larong laughed at himself. Let's just watch the show. Chen Shang rejoiced in his heart, so there was actually such a rule. If they fought for that long, they would definitely take advantage of Chen Shang in the end. This is a good thing for us. If they take turns fighting the eagle, it will consume a lot of its energy. Chen Shang said in a low voice. If every team were to fight, that might be possible. However, some teams only have 5 or 6 players. Zhang Jun said. Look, this team does not dare to go all out anymore, it is just a probing attack. If they realize that they are not a match, they will retreat. If all the teams don't fight, then we'll all fight. Even if we take down this eagle, there won't be any rewards. Yu Lorong added. Chen Shang told Xiao Shanglin to think of a way to find the weakness of this beast. The best way to deal with this eagle is to seal it. Xiao Shanglin said. Xiao Ka and I will now enter the time array to try and see if we can quickly refine an array disk. As long as an array disk was created, it was extremely likely that a powerful seal would be released. Although Chen Zhang's 6 realms mirrors could also do it, it was just too shocking. For the time being, Chen Shang did not want to reveal the might of the 6 realms mirrors. Feng Ka could also use clones, so after working together with Xiao Shanglin, she would definitely be able to make the best use of her time to refine them. Also, do not use too strong of a seal. You only need to release enough power to slow down the giant eagle's movements. Chen Shang said. That's not a problem, Xiao Shanglin said. Chen Shang had a lot of Dao creation divine crystals, he could use the array disk to release enough power. The second team also retreated. The next 3 teams all gave up. They didn't want anyone to get injured. Now, another team had come up. This team was also a 10-player team. They were very confident. The defense of this giant eagle is very strong. Chen Shang had already seen it a few times just now. Some people had used their swords to stab the giant hawk in the eyes, but they were repelled by a wave of energy. At this moment, the spectators were also thinking of a strategy to deal with the eagle, and at the same time, they were looking for its weakness. What kind of beast is this? Is completely different from the poisonous beast we encountered before. Zhang Jun said, there are no weaknesses. Tian Dongyu, who had just entered the battle, sneered, do you think that your 3 members team would want to fight as well? Lu Xinyan coldly said, if they go up there, they will only be sending themselves to their deaths. At that time, we might even have to ask the elders to save them. Elder didn't even save our people, how could he go and save them? He's just watching by the side. You don't need to do this, right? That's right, he's here to broaden his horizons. Zhang Jun was furious in his heart, but he did not flare up, because he saw that Chen Shang was watching the battle very seriously. He felt that Chen Shang might have a plan. Elder brother Shen, are we going to go up on stage later? Yu Lorong suddenly sound transmitted to Chen Shang. He also felt that Chen Shang wanted to fight, and now he even called Chen Shang big brother. I'm not sure yet, I'll just wait and see. Chen Shang said, he had to go up, even if he could not win, he had to try. That team from before had used quite a few methods, as well as some powerful divine tools, but none of them had any effect. They had teamed up with each other to make a powerful chain to tie up the eagle, but in the end, the chain had broken free. This giant eagle has already cultivated all the world-defying stage divine source qi. Chen Zhang's expression was solemn as he thought to himself, there is actually such a powerful beast in the beast creation race, could it be that this giant eagle was attracted here by the divine tree? Not long after, the 10-man team was defeated. 2 of them were injured, and several of their weapons were destroyed. There were a few other teams below who did not go up, they had already experienced the power of the giant hawk and there were more than 10 teams up there. If this team could not defeat the giant hawk, then it would be Chen Zhang's turn. At this time, Xiao Shanglin and Feng Ka also came out from the time array. It's done, Xiao Shanglin said. I have used a large amount of pressure mantra S and oscillating curses to create this array disk, and also added in the thunder power. If the giant eagle is truly strong, the array disk cannot be maintained for long, it might be broken by the giant eagle's power. Chapter 3739. Chen Shang held the array disk in his hand. He felt that it was not enough. If there was only this array disk, and if the effects did not reach his expectations, then everything would be over, and Chen Shang would need a more thorough method. What he did not expect was that He Fengyuan and Mei Jing sisters would also come out from the same time array. This is the rattan grass we made. If we release it, it will have a binding effect. The strong point is that it can regenerate quickly, and it might be able to stall that giant eagle for a period of time. He Fengyuan said. Chen Shang already had a certain amount of confidence at this time. After that, he secretly sent a sound transmission to Zhang Jun and Yu Lorong and then told them a simple plan of his own. He wanted them to see the opportunity later before madly attacking the giant eagle's head. The head of the giant eagle was a relatively weak place. Everyone could see that every time they tried to attack it, the eagle would dodge or block them. Occasionally, they would hit a few times, but the strength was not strong enough. Zhang Jun and Yu Lorong both believed in Chen Shang and they were already prepared. We retreat. He was quite quick-witted, only trying to besiege them for a bit before retreating, because they knew very well that if they continued like this, the result would be the same. At that time, another team member might get injured and damage the god equipment. Just as they were retreating, Zhang Jun shouted, "Let's go." The three of them actually wanted to join a team. Everyone was stunned. Although they wanted to mock him, they couldn't help but admire this team's courage. The clan elders who were spectating the battle at the side had wanted to gather everyone to fight, because he believed that Zhang Jun and the other two would not fight, so he was very surprised. Are they crazy? Really? They only have 3 people, and it's a new team. Zhang Jun is pretty good, but Yu Lorong is just at the early stages of the legend rank, and that new warrior is also a rookie. Quote. Where did they get the confidence to charge up? Maybe soldiers will fall today. What was shocking was that Chen Shang was the fastest, taking the lead and flying towards the giant eagle. The giant hawk also flapped its wings and charged towards Chen Shang. After hissing out, its wings flapped, releasing world-defying stage divine source chi that turned into a gale of chi that shot towards Chen Shang. Chen Shang had already noticed earlier that this gale was extremely terrifying, and some of the gold firefighters were not even injured by this gale. After the aura rushed over, Chen Shang immediately released a strong pressure from his body. He used the power of the other 2 clones to form a shield from the strong pressure. Bang! Chen Zhang's transparent pressure was instantly broken, exploding into an extremely violent wave of air, shaking many huge leaves on the ground. Everyone was even more shocked. They never thought that this new warrior was actually this strong. He was able to block the terrifying attack of this giant eagle. However, a lot of old warriors were unable to block it just now. Although Chen Zhang's pressure escape was broken, the giant eagle was still in a good position. It was pushed back and Chen Shang immediately threw out his sealing disc. The formation plate, under Chen Zhang's control, appeared under the giant eagle. Then, it became very big and it suddenly shone with a golden light, enveloping the giant eagle. After being enveloped by this light, the giant eagle felt like it had sunk into a quagmire and was struggling non-stop. However, its movements were extremely slow. Li Rong, let's go. When Zhang Jun, who was behind them, saw this opportunity, they immediately rushed forward as fast as they could. Chen Shang also rushed forward with them, raised the battle blade in his hands and used all his strength to hack the giant eagle's head. Seeing this, everyone was so jealous that their hearts were bleeding. They never thought that Chen Shang would actually have such a sealing disc. An array disc was still very expensive here. The most important thing was that there weren't many people who could refine an array disc, especially those who could. In just a few short moments, Chen Shang and the other 2 had already hacked the giant eagle's head 1,000 times, causing many Tao creation divine crystals to shatter. It was already close to the giant eagle's meat. Boom! The formation plate underneath the giant eagle suddenly exploded. The angry giant eagle broke free from the formation plate's restraints, causing the formation plate to explode due to being unable to control the force. This is bad. Chen Shang immediately threw out a very thick blade of grass. The grass rapidly grew and formed a net, wrapping the eagle in layers upon layers. Zhang Jun and Yu Lorong continued to madly cut at the location of the giant eagle's head. All they needed to do was to shatter all the Tao creation's sacred crystals there. After the giant eagle was entangled by the tenacious grass, it continued to struggle. It won't last long. Chen Shang knew that the grass growing had a limited amount of regenerative power, so they must hurry up. Done. Zhang Jun shouted. The blade in his hand had already cut through the Tao creation divine crystals on the outside of the giant hawk and onto the giant hawk's meat. Following that, Yu Lorong used his strength to chop off the giant hawk's head. The eagle landed on a huge leaf and was tightly wrapped by the grass. Success. Chen Shang had almost released the other 2 clones just now. It should be. Zhang Jun looked at the giant hawk's mountain-like head. The Tao creation sacred crystals that were wrapped outside were not ordinary Tao creation sacred crystals. Yu Lorong's hands were trembling. It was all because of the backlash from the powerful force when he was being slashed, and it was the same for Zhang Jun. Zhang Jun's team will be rewarded if they succeed in taking down the giant hawk. The elder was astonished. In the end, he was killed by these 3 teams. What is the background of this new person? There was actually an array disc in that strange grass growing. Could he be the descendant of the divine master of healing medicinal herbs? That grass vine should be a creation, right? Quote, if we have something that can seal the eagle for a period of time, it will be ours. The other teams discussed in succession and were extremely envious, especially those that were injured. They had suffered huge losses and were unable to obtain anything, while the other 3 teams had successfully defeated the eagle. Especially Tian Dongyu and Lu Xinyan, many people secretly laughed at them. They had just left Zhang Jun's team, otherwise, they would have been able to obtain the sap of the divine tree. Tian Dongyu and Lu Xinyan were filled with hatred, because they knew that many people would be laughing at them. They also thought that Zhang Jun and the others would laugh at them too. The saddest people here were the ones who were injured and had lost their divine weapons. Other than that, Tian Dongyu and Lu Xinyan were also very sad. Yu Lirong knew that if Chen Shang were to attack, it would definitely succeed. Although the process was extremely dangerous, it was still somewhat thrilling and not dangerous. They were not injured, but the blade in their hands was broken. The elder took away the giant hawk and told Zhang Jun that they would send the reward over. Let's go and celebrate when we get back, haha. Zhang Jun laughed out loud and then flew away with Chen Shang and Yu Lirong. Chapter 3740. Chen Shang only looked happy on the surface, but in his heart he was thinking about other things. It was that the beasts of the beast creation race were actually this strong, and had flown over here. Chen Shang, you are truly powerful. Just now, Li Rong said that you are strong, but I do not know how strong you are. Zhang Jun smiled as he toasted to Chen Shang. This is all thanks to everyone's good cooperation. Otherwise, it would have been difficult for me to take down that giant eagle by myself. Chen Shang smiled humbly. Elder brother Shen, if I give you my divine tree juice, there's no use in coming here now. Yu Lirong said. He was only at the early stages of the legendary realm. How can this be? Chen Shang said. Don't be polite with me. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gotten it either. Yu Lirong laughed. Chen Shang, I'll give mine to you too. Zhang Jun said. Captain, I can't take yours from you. You're also at the peak of the legendary realm, so it'll be useful for you. Chen Shang said. What's the use of it? It's not like I can cultivate the divine origin chi right away. Zhang Jun curled his lips. If I say I'll give it to you, you keep it for me. Don't reject it, otherwise, you won't be my brother. All right. Chen Shang could only accept it. Chen Shang, do you need the sap of the divine tree for any other use? That formation plate of yours and that grass tap are both not ordinary items. Zhang Jun laughed. You paid so much, I'm too embarrassed to ask for that drop of sap from the divine tree. Captain, to be honest, I am an alchemist, said softly. After the battle just now, he trusted Zhang Jun quite a bit. A very powerful alchemist. Yu Lirong laughed in a low voice. Captain, my strange injuries were all healed by the elder brother Shen. This is a secret that many people do not know. This scared Zhang Jun to his feet, and he immediately cupped his hands towards Chen Shang, showing great respect. So it's actually someone else from the core god level, excuse me. Everyone within the golden fire tree knew how long Yu Lirong's strange injuries had caused him to struggle for. To be able to cure Yu Lirong's strange injuries, a pill god of this level was enough for Zhang Jun to look up to. Captain, don't be like this. I'm also a gold fire fighter now, so I still need your guidance. Chen Shang laughed. Captain, elder brother Shen is a very low-profile person. He has some things to discuss with my grandfather when he becomes the gold fire fighter. Previously, he didn't know how he could meet my grandfather, so he joined. Yu Lirong hurriedly explained. However, I am now very interested in what gold fire fighter has done. After Chen Shang drank a cup, he laughed. I can get a lot of good things. Master Yu used an important matter to leave with a large group of experts. This matter is extremely urgent and important. I don't know the specifics. Zhang Jun said. He had the qualifications to be here, so he was able to know a lot of things. I don't know if it's related to that giant eagle or not. Chen Shang said. Brother Shen, are you from outside? Zhang Jun could tell that Chen Shang didn't really understand the things here. Chen Shang nodded. What do you know about the eagle? This giant eagle is definitely not something that the medicine creation divine continent possesses. Zhang Jun said again. I know it's related to the beast creation race. The beasts of the beast creation race have a burst of devouring power. They can devour energy and condense it into the Tao creation's sacred crystal. Chen Shang said. You all have also seen it before. There is a very strong layer of Tao Creation's divine crystals on the outside of that giant hawk's body. But the beasts I've encountered before are all relatively weak. This is the first time that I've encountered someone who can cultivate divine origin qi. Quote. When Chen Shang talked about this, he frowned, his expression becoming serious. It has a strong devouring ability. Zhang Jun thought for a while, then said, then that's not good. The 9 divine trees in the medicine creation divine continent are the most beloved trees among all beasts, which is why they have attracted so many poisonous insect poisonous beast. There are many poisonous insect poisonous beasts that can hide themselves and swallow the leaves, which is why they can grow very fast and strong. Quote. I suspect that the hawk has been here for a long time. Someone brought it back to raise us, it might be an old guy from the golden fire trees. After they had something to do and left, they did not stop this giant eagle. Quote. Yu Larong exclaimed, then wouldn't it be troublesome if we kill this giant eagle? That's just my guess. Otherwise, someone would definitely notice it. After all, with such a big thing flying in the sky above the medicine creation divine continent, it would be hard to avoid it from being discovered. Zhang Jun said. Just now, Brother Shen also said that the ones he met before were not that powerful. I never thought of this before. Chen Shang frowned as he thought about it. Among our golden fire tree, there is an extremely high possibility that there is a hidden beast creation race fellow. Maybe he has been creating beasts for many years, so many poisonous insect poisonous beasts have appeared. Zhang Jun thought of many things, and told her what he had guessed. When Grandpa comes back and asks him, maybe he'll know something. Yu Larong said. We can only wait until old man Yu returns. We're only guessing right now. Zhang Jun said in a low voice, we cannot let others know about this. I need to keep the news of me being in the alchemist confidential. Chen Shang said. That's for sure. Zhang Jun laughed. If we can take down the giant hawk this time, it might be able to increase the number of our members by 6. Previously, Tian Dongyu and Lu Xinyan looked down on elder brother Shen very much. Now, they should be regretting it. Yu Larong laughed. They look down on the elder brother Shen, and the human elder brother Shen does not even put them in his eyes. These 2 despicable fellows, they deserve it. Zhang Jun also laughed. No wonder brother Shen did not get angry when he faced their mockery. After all, these 2 fellows are not even in the eyes of a pill god like brother Shen. Right, when will we be able to obtain the divine tree juice? Chen Shang asked. Tomorrow at the earliest, Zhang Jun said. If tomorrow is not up yet, I will go urge them so that things will not change later. Zhang Jun was worried that he guessed right. The giant hawk was raised by an old man from a golden fire tree. After finishing the wine and eating, Chen Shang and the others went back to their own rooms. Chen Shang, show your spirit body around and see if you can find any other holy crystal beasts. Xiao Shanglan said. Capture one back, maybe we can find out something. Alright, Chen Shang also wanted to catch a holy crystal beast that wasn't very strong, but if it was too strong, it would be difficult to catch it alive. It's fine to capture the weaker poisonous insect and poisonous beast. Xiao Shanglan laughed. Let me try to see if I can find out anything from the memories of the poison insect poisonous beast. You can. Chen Shang was shocked, and asked. You have taught me soul-absorbing devil spell. Xiao Shanglan laughed tenderly. I am a heavenly incantation master, learning soul-absorbing devil spell is too easy.